Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, July 29th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORION or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Boston Red Sox. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and we'll get into the starting lineups. Happy Monday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we have Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And on the right, you have the stud, Rafael Devers. Now let's get into the starting lineups first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at center field, a godsend for Seattle, Victor Robles. And you could argue that this is the biggest acquisition, that I think no one really thought that he was going to be anything, but he's been the biggest X factor, not only in the Seattle Mariner organization, but you could argue in baseball to turn our bad luck around. Let's go, Victor Robles. You're playing like an all-star. Speaking of all-stars, batting second, newly acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays, left fielder Randy Rosarina. Batting third, catching tonight for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Batting fifth, playing right field, Luke Raley. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, it's Demo Dylan Moore. Batting seventh, playing first base this tonight afternoon, Jason Vossler. Let's go, Voss. Batting eighth, playing DH for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. Batting ninth, playing third base, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And on the mound for the Mariners, it is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. Now, Logan's got a 6-6 record, an ERA of 2.72, and we're going to need him to pitch very well here tonight. Let's go, Logan. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Boston Red Sox. Leading off for the Red Sox at center field, Jarren Duran. Batting second, playing right field, Wilyer Abreu. Batting third, DHing today for Boston, Masataka Yoshida. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Rafael Devers. Batting fifth, playing left field, Tyler O'Neill. Batting sixth, playing first base, Dominic Smith. Batting seventh, catching tonight, Connor Wong. Batting eighth, playing second base for Boston, David Hamilton. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for the Red Sox, Dan Rafaela. And on the mound for Boston with a 4-7 record, an ERA of 4.50, it is Nick Pivetta. Let's go, baby. I am ready. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that a lot of us are going through right now or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine, put out a little bit of effort and accountability, and you can turn your life around. If you're not eating healthy, change that up. If you're not exercising, go out for a walk and make sure you're getting at least 30 minutes of music every single day. It'll really help with the mental health, and it'll obviously help you feel better about yourself and about the day. Spending time with pets and your friends as well, and making sure you're in a safe place like the NWSF, it definitely helps on your daily routine. Let's go, baby. Seattle Mariners, Boston Red Sox, game number 1. We're going to get started here in roughly 4 minutes. Let's get it, baby. Daniel in the building. What's good, brother? Let him know. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. And we're going to try to be able to get to 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And then we're going to try to go for 100 in the donos like we do on every single stream. Megan in the building, $5 holla, Ty France to the Reds. And we already pretty much deactivated him. So we already knew that we weren't really going to get anything good in return, pretty much because we released him already. It was just for, waiting for a team to either claim him or we were going to try to get whatever we could get for him. And, wish the best of luck to Ty France on the Reds. $5 holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos. And I got you. 95 to go. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, the little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $5 holla. Let's go. 95 to go. Bizzle in the building. What's good? How are you? Dolphin season right around the corner. Jacob in the building. What's good? Lane Thomas from the Nationals. I see you. Captain Oreo with a $5. Welcome to Seattle, Justin Turner. And I was just about to get into that as well. Joseph Andrade, my boy. How are you, man? You guys actually souped up quite a few players. And I really like what the Mariners have been doing. We're trying to get to the Dodger, Philly, Yankees, Orioles, Guardians level as being like the top dog. But, with all things considered, for the Seattle Mariners, you could argue right now that we have the biggest name right now in the deadline out of any team that's been signed with Randy Arozarena. We picked up Jimmy Garcia from the Blue Jays, 3-0 record with an ERA of 2.70 to replace Ryan Stanek. And we just picked up Justin Turner. And I know Justin Turner had his best moments, when he was a Dodger, went over to the Red Sox and then the Blue Jays. But a guy like Justin Turner, if we're not able to pick up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and I'm not really sure if he's going to be available, but Justin Turner can play first base, which is a weakness for us, second base, third base, and he can DH. So it definitely gives us some flexibility. And I think that Voss, should be probably playing the everyday DH role. But if not, we can end up having Demo at first, Luke Raley at first, Jason Vossler at first, as well as Justin Turner at first. So I like what we're doing right now. Hopefully we're not done. We got one more, night and a little bit of the morning to see if we're going to make one more splash move. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Vlad Jr. Rumors are that Vlad is not on the market. Like, he was on the market early. They do need a catcher, and we do have Harry Ford waiting in the wings. So we have the right type of compensation for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but it kind of depends if the organization is going to give him money to stay with Toronto for a good chunk of his career because his contract is up next year, or if they're going to try to be able to get as much as they can for him now, knowing that he might end up leaving on his own terms next year. And sometimes that happens in sports. Sports is a business. It's not just fun and games all the time. So we'll see how it goes. But I like the Justin Turner move. He's been hitting pretty good since June 1st. And I think it gives us flexibility for someone that can play first base or DH. But the lineup is starting to come together. And I really like our chances moving forward here in the playoffs. Appreciate you. Megan with a $5, Captain Oreo with a $5. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. Great to see you, Joe. Anytime I can see you in the building, it's always a good day for me. I appreciate you. I hope your life is going good. I hope your son is doing good. I know that you've gone through the ups and the downs. Mental health has been challenging at times, just like with myself. I always will be here for you, brother. And if you ever need anything, you let me know. I got you. Bizzle, ooh, training camp tomorrow. I'm jealous. Like I said, if you're going to be posting on your socials, I'll definitely check it out. And I know you normally do, so I'll definitely be checking out some Miami Dolphin training camp photos from you tomorrow. All right, I got you. And I ended up getting my new windscreens here. So again, I have to kind of adjust the volume. If my volume is too high during the broadcast, let me know and I'll turn it down a little bit. I had it up a little bit higher because my microphone wind covers were kind of getting broken down. And again, I had to kind of adjust the volume because they were falling apart, but now I got brand new ones. So just let me know if the volume is a little bit too high, and I can always tune it down just a little bit. All right, let me get everything adjusted here real quick. I got to get the volume adjusted. I got Cal photos on hand, so let me get those for you out of the way, and then we'll get Megan's photos loaded. I appreciate you, brother. Hopefully we can get Big Dumper with a home run here this afternoon. Appreciate you, my guy, Captain Oreo. All right, leading off, Victor Robles, first pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. 308 average, 2 homers and 7 ribbies, and it's the only Mariner player that is batting over 300, and only, I believe, the second or third total for Seattle. Robles, nicely hit all the way to right field. Nice catch. Lined out to right, 1 away. Batting second, the newly acquired Tampa Bay Ray, the biggest name, obviously in the trade deadline, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go, baby. Now, obviously, if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. ends up on a team, that'll be just as big as Randy Arozarena. And it's kind of crazy that the Mariners might end up with both, but something tells me that there's a good chance that Vlad might not be going anywhere. Neither will Bo Bichette. Maybe they'll just try to build around him, even though there was a lot of rumors that they were going to be selling both. Let's go. Yeah, I can get you some Aaron Judge and Giancarlo if you want that instead or all together. I can get you all three. No worries. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. How's the volume on my end? Everything sound good? It's not too high-pitched on your guys' end? I got to make sure I get the exact right volume, but as long as it's not, you'll usually be able to tell if it's a little bit too loud on the volume, because it'll be kind of, I don't really want to say distorted, but you'll be able to kind of hear it. But if everything sounds good, let me know, because I definitely tweaked it just a little bit before the broadcast since I have the brand new windscreens in it. It's like having brand new microphones all over again, and I've been waiting for these for quite some time. All right, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Pivetta on the mound, 2-2 pitch. Randy fouls that one back. Let me get some photos here loaded. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. Two-two pitch. Right down the middle for a strike, and there goes Randy Arozarena. That's a very rare strikeout there, Randy. Nice fastball by Nick Pivetta. And I got a couple spinning logos for the Boston Red Sox. I got this spinning one, and then we got this one that's kind of an animated one that we can use as well. Pretty cool. Next up for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Let's go, Cal. Captain Oreo selected you with his first dono, so we want to make sure we're having a good day out of the big dumper. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Cal. Nasty. Behind in the count, 0 balls and 2 strikes, 19 multi-homer games, 66 ribbies. That leads the team. Number 1 in home runs as well. Cal has been the MVP for the Seattle Mariners, and hopefully he can continue to keep raking on the back end of this season. Good eye. Pitches inside at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes. To Cal Raleigh, pitches high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting photos loaded for the 2 of y'all right now as well. Got to multitask. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's try to get to 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. It's been really working. You guys have been doing a great job, and it's been really making a difference with the views overall. Count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Three-two pitch, check swing. Did he go? And yes, he did. Good start for Nick Pavetta. Not really the best start here for the Seattle Mariners, but we'll take it. Go to the bottom of the first inning with our guy, Logan Gilbert, on the mound. Let's get some photos here situated. So I had the cows already kind of in hand for Captain Oreo. So we got that cow. We got another cow. We got this cow. Cow over here. Cal over there, Cal everywhere, and we'll get a few more as we go. And then let's see what we got here for Megan. Appreciate you. We're at 10, 90 to go. And then we'll transition here into the Yankees and Aaron Judge. And I even throw in a little Giancarlo Stanton for you as well. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Due up for the Red Sox, center fielder Jarren Duran. Batting second, right fielder Wilyer Abreu. And batting third, Masataka Yoshida. And he will be the DH here this afternoon. And on the mound for the Mariners, it is Walter, 6-6 record, ERA of 2.72. Arguably our best pitcher overall besides George Kirby, Logan Gilbert. And of course, if we had a little bit more run support, that record would be a little bit better. Flying Monk in the building, what's good? Britt in the building, what's good? Jacob in the building, what's good? Giancarlo and Aaron on the M's, nice. Nice power lineup. Bottom of the first, 0-0 Mariners and Red Sox. And obviously we know with Jarren Duran, he can come up big in clutch situations. He's a very good player. And again, 289 average, 13 homers, 52 ribbies. And if you ended up watching the All-Star game, he ended up being the guy that ended up being the unsung hero with that blast towards the end of the game. Chops that one foul. Behind in the count, 0 balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 count. And again, we got the spinning logo, and then we got the animated logo. I'll switch them up kind of throughout the broadcast. Pitch is low and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Appreciate Megan and Matt for liking and retweeting the post on Twitter/X. That'll help us get more people here. 1-2 pitch. Line drive towards first base and foul. Let's See where we're at right now. We got a good amount of people already in the room at the moment, but we don't have as many likes on that board just yet. We have how many people? We got 33 in the room, but we're only at 13 likes. There's at least 20 of y'all that haven't smashed the like button yet listening to the broadcast. So if you can just take 5 seconds out of your day, smash the like button, and we can get to 20, then we can get to 30 to 50, and it'll take us to that next level for recommendations as well as the algorithm and the analytics and metrics that YouTube looks for. Big punch out there for Logan Gilbert, getting him to chase. I like that. One away. There we go, Logan. Nice start. Next up for the Red Sox, right fielder Will Abreu. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Takes 1 second to smash that like button. 0-1 count to Will Abreu. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate y'all. We got about half of y'all that have smashed the like button. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we should easily be able to get to this 20 likes within the first hour. We might be able to get it within the first 30 minutes. It looks like we're 3 away, and we got about half of the people in the room that have done it so far. So 2 away from 20. Let's get there. One-two pitch from Gilbert to Abreu. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you wouldn't think it would be that much of a difference from getting, 20 to 25 likes to maybe 40 to 50 likes in a stream. But the difference is you can go from, maybe 200 to 600 views to 600 to 2,000 or more, just based on the likes. Nice punch out by Logan Gilbert. So, again, some people are able to donate, some aren't, but everyone has the ability to smash the like button. So please help your boy out. It would mean everything to me. Here we go, Logan. Another punch out for my guy, Walter, Logan Gilbert. Let's go. And we got a 3-game set. We'll be live today, tomorrow, and Wednesday for the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. Then the Mariners have a day off on Thursday. So we're going to do the NFL Hall of Fame game, which is going to be between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears, and then we're going to go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia. So the Red Sox and the Phillies are definitely a tall tale sign to see where we stack up against some of the top dogs in baseball. 0-1 pitch to Yoshida, little dribbler towards first base, little flip to Logan. There we go. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. There we go. Good start here for Logan Gilbert and the Seattle Mariners. End of the first, we're knotted up here at 0. Next up for the Mariners, who's been hot as of late. He can't play defense worth a shit, but he has been hitting home runs and getting clutch hits and RBIs as of late. We booed him for about a month and a half, and now he's starting to turn it around, thank God. Second baseman, it's Jorge Polanco. And let's do a little foreshadowing and throw up the trident. Maybe he'll go yard here tonight or tomorrow. Let's go Polo. Never thought I would say those words, but I'm glad that he's doing better. We need it. Batting second, playing right field tonight, Luke Raley. And Luke was good in April and May, but he's kind of been fading a little bit in June and July. We need him to get hot again, and hopefully he can start that here this afternoon. Let's go Luke Raley. But one thing I can say about Luke Raley, that even if his bat, might be a little weak, in the last month and a half, he at least hustles every single play, and I really admire that out of any player that's playing in baseball. He never gives up on a play, and sometimes he can run out an easy out to get to first. That will lead to a RBI or someone knocking him home. Nice job, Luke. And batting third, playing shortstop, while J.P. Crawford heals up from the broken pinky, shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Let's go, baby. I appreciate that. Eric in the building. What's good? Sarah in the building. What's good? Yeah, I like it. I feel like our acquisitions are really, really good, but you're always going to get people on social media, that supposedly, are Mariner content creators, and everyone just loves to nitpick. And the thing is, what if we did nothing? A lot of times we don't really do a whole lot. So you have to be thankful that we're actually making moves in this particular Jerry Dipoto, Scott Service era and the Stanton era. A lot of times we get, really low name guys, or we don't do anything at all. So, for some of these content creators, just nitpicking and bitching and moaning, they don't look at the stats. And you have to be able to look at the stats and obviously go through the metrics before you make these stupid ass posts that I end up getting on my timeline. And I know, JT, Justin Turner, is a little old, 2-0 count to Jorge Polanco. Now, that pitch was outside, 3-0 count. But again, he's 39 years old. He's not the same player as he was when he was on the Dodgers. Then he went to the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. But again, he's a good clubhouse guy. You could use him at first base, second base, third base, or DH. Takes a strike right down the middle, 3 balls and 1 strike to Polo. So I like the move. It's not like we expect him to be an all-star or play like an all-star like Randy Arozarena, but again, I think that for the 3 guys that we've picked up, I think we've hit it right on the head. And you could argue that Seattle has had one of the best deadline, pickups up to this point out of any team in baseball. We got an A grade right now. Now, if you want to get it to A+, then you get someone like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or Yandy Diaz, or, we end up picking up another, player or two. Polo pops up into right field, 1 away. But again, you can argue this is the biggest name that's been, traded or picked up so far up to this point, right? We had problems with Stanek. Then you bring in a guy that's 3-0, 2.70 ERA to replace him in the bullpen, right? And then we end up picking up a guy that, he's old. He doesn't strike out a whole lot. He's a great clubhouse guy. I love Big Red. I loved him when he was on the Dodgers. I liked him when he was on Boston and Toronto. And I'm going to love him here in Seattle. So, again, it gives us a little bit more depth. And, again, we may not be done. There might be another player or two. I still would like to get another bat and another bullpen guy if possible. But we'll see if, Stanton, Dipoto, and Service can work their magic until the deadline ends tomorrow. Next up is Luke Raley, popped up on an 0-1 pitch. Easy out there for Boston, 2 away. Come on, Polo, you got to work the count. Let's go, Luke. You've been struggling, my guy, and you might be the odd man out, where you might be, getting a lot of playing time in April and May, but we may not see a whole lot of Luke Raley, as we get to the back end of the season. Next up, shortstop, Dylan Moore. Another individual who's a platoon guy, but once we get J.P. Crawford and Julio back, this lineup is going to be fire. It's going to be one of the best lineups the Mariners have had in a long, long time. It's going to be really sexy. We're going to be able to hit, and it wouldn't surprise me if we end up having a couple guys batting over 300. Not a bunch, but I think that we could end up having 2 or 3. And if that ends up being the case, we might be able to make a deep run and come October. Big facts. Top of the second, 0-0 Mariners and Red Sox. 2 outs, 0-2 count to Demo, Dylan Moore. Let's go, baby. Judah in the building. What's good? Oh, you're not the only one, Judah. Britt's in here as well. You guys are both hardcore Red Sox fans, both living on the East Coast. Yeah, I'm hoping Turner will play tomorrow as well. They have up to 3 days to pack and to, pretty much assign themselves, within the organization. Big swing and a miss. And there goes Demo. Nice job by Nick Pivetta, making the Mariners look silly out there here in the first 2 innings. But they have 3 days to report. Most guys are going to report on the second day. Again, they can always have moving companies, kind of help them out, and family if needed. These guys are millionaires, so it's not like they're going to be doing all the packing themselves. But again, I hope that we end up seeing Justin Turner. And again, you can use him at DH, even though I like Vossler as our everyday DH. If we don't get Vlad, we can always put a rotation of guys at first base. You can have Dylan Moore, you can have Tyler Locklear, you can have Luke Raley, and you can have Jason Vossler. So we got 4 guys now with the addition of Justin Turner that can play first base, and hopefully one of them can figure it out, out of those 4. But I do want Voss to be playing every day and I hope that we end up making him the everyday DH. No disrespect to Mitch Haniger or Mitch Garver, but when you're 33 years old and you guys are kind of both over the hill, and sometimes you guys play good and sometimes you guys play bad, at this point, competition is everything. And again, we respect them. We appreciated what Ty France, Viva La France did for us. But at the end of the day, if we want to be able to try to go to the ALDS, ALCS, World Series, win the AL West over the Astros and the Rangers, we're going to have the best players playing, on the team. And sometimes, you're going to be an odd man out, or instead of being an everyday player, you might have to be a platoon guy, or you might have to be a DH guy. But I'll tell you what, Jason Bossler, coming up from the Tacoma Rainiers, he's gotten a hit at every game that he's played. I don't know why the hell they had Garver play it yesterday, who went like 0 for 4, 0 for 5. But to me, it took us 60 games to figure out Mike Ford was our everyday DH last year, right? We're already over 100 games into the season. Right, we got 50 to 60 to go. This has been the best player at DH that we've had all season. So when you recognize you have a good thing, you keep him there. And I think he's good enough to play a position, Jason Bossler, but we have so many other players, kind of battling for positions. Just put him at DH to let him use his bat, and then we can always use him as an emergency, everyday player if needed. But I think DH suits him well. All right, baby. Bottom of the second, 0-0. Next up, for the Boston Red Sox, one of their best players, Rafael Devers. Takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike, 297 average, 23 homers, and 64 ribbies for Rafael Devers. Ooh, look at that logo. Little animation for you. Let's go, baby. We're at 10, 90 to go. 1-1 pitch, pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Career versus the Mariners, Devers has been a killer. 331 average in his career with 10 homers. And again, you have to make sure that you're not pitching it right down the middle. He will make you pay. That one chopped, stays fair. Little flip to Logan Gilbert. 1 away, and we get lucky there. Next up for the Red Sox, left fielder Tyler O'Neill. And Red Sox fans, Judah and Brett, you let me know what you guys want to see when your players are up. If you want the spinning logo, or if you'd rather have the animation logo while you guys are up, you let me know which one you guys want, and I got you. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them both in, throughout the stream. But if there's one that you like a little bit better, you let me know. 271 average, 22 homers, and 43 ribbies for Tyler O'Neill. I kind of like the spinning logo. It's a little bit easier on the eyes just based on how fast it goes. It's not going too fast. And sometimes they have animated logos and the spin is too fast and it kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't look right on the broadcast. You have to have the right speed of the logos and whatnot. And I kind of like the spinning logos the best. But this is kind of a cool animated logo that not every team has, so I figured I'd throw it in for you guys as well. All right, let's see what Tyler O'Neill can do. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is low and outside. Nice save by Cal Raleigh. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tyler O'Neill. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's go, baby. I feel like the spinning one can be a little bit distracting. I mean, I think it's kind of cool after the first couple swings, but then after it keeps swinging over and over, I was thinking kind of the same thing, but I figured I would ask you guys. Pitch right down the middle, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Pitch is low and outside. Did he go around? No, he did not. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So I ended up watching The Acolyte, The Bear. I went through a bunch of the shows. The House of the Dragon is still going on. And those were the main shows that were debuting in June. So I never watched The Boys, the superhero show with Homelander. And I figured I would give it a try. O'Neill crushes that one line drive to Randy Arozarena, 2 away. But I got through the first season last night, and I highly recommend it. There's definitely a little foreshadowing into what goes on in our real life, where they're superheroes, right? And they're as popular as celebrities, and they have as much pull as like political guys, that are politicians, but they don't always say what they mean. just like what you get in politics and when you get from celebrities when things are like scripted and when they're kind of reading off a teleprompter and they're saying things that are being told by others to say. So it kind of foreshadows what really goes on in real life. But to be able to see like superheroes kind of gone bad, sometimes they do good, but a lot of times they're doing things for their own agenda. At first, I was a little skeptical of the show. I didn't really know how it was going to compare to like DC or Marvel, in that type of aspect, but it's completely different. The cinematography is great. The storytelling is great. And I know not everyone is going to get into it, but I do highly recommend if you haven't started it to watch The Boys. It's definitely worth a watch. 0-2 pitch. The Dominic Smith pitch is low and outside. 1-2 count. And they're in their 4th season, and I think they're going to do one more season, and then that's going to be the end of it. But I was skeptical, but I do like it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Smith. Gilbert right on the corner. Did he go? Got him, baby. 6 up and 6 down for Logan Gilbert. Nick Pivetta and Logan Gilbert are wheeling and dealing. This could end up being a pitcher's duel. We might not have a whole lot of runs or hits until we get to maybe the 5th or 6th inning, but we'll take that. Nice job, Logan Gilbert. All right, let's see who's up next here in the top of the 3rd for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, playing first base today, should be our everyday DH man moving forward. I really like him. He's probably the best guy that we brought up between him, Tyler Locklear, and Ryan Bliss. This guy deserves to be a part of the team and playing every day. First baseman today, DH hopefully tomorrow, Jason Vossler. Let's go, Voss. I like you a lot. Batting second, DHing today, Mitch Haniga. And obviously you would assume at this point that he will lose his job, and then this will be Justin Turner. And batting third, playing third base, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. All right, we got 3 more likes to hit 30. We got 44 in the room. So we got about half of y'all in the room that have smashed the like button. So if you haven't done it yet, please do. We hit 20 within the first 37 minutes, but we need 3 more to get to 30. And we're going to try to get to 30 to 50 overall. Let's go. Takes 1 second to smash that like button for your boy. And shout out to Sarah, Odin, Megan, and Matt for liking and retweeting the post. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, we're going to be very, very busy, here moving forward. So we got 3 games, obviously, here with the Mariners and the Red Sox. Then we're going to have the first preseason football game with the Texans and the Bears. Then we're going to have 3 games between the Mariners and the Phillies. But I'm only going to do 2 of them because we got SummerSlam that's going to be Saturday afternoon. So if you are a WWE fan, I will definitely be doing SummerSlam on Saturday. So we're not going to have any days off for probably about 7 or 8 days, maybe longer. It's going to be a grind, but I'm definitely excited about SummerSlam, and I'm excited about this Boston Red Sox series, the Philly series, as well as the first game in the preseason. No CJ Stroud, no Caleb Williams, but we'll eventually see them in, maybe week 3 in preseason, maybe just a little bit, or they may not play at all. But I know a lot of us are, kind of salivating to be able to see CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs and what kind of bond they have, as well as Nico Collins and company, as well as the USC prodigy in Caleb Williams, seeing how he bonds with Keenan Allen and all of the rest of the studs that they got there on the Chicago Bears. Still got a little ways to go on that O-line and that defense, but they should be a little funner to watch than years past. Big swing and a miss, and there goes Vossler on a 1-2 pitch from Pivetta, 1 away. It's okay, Voss. You've gotten a hit every single game up to this point. I'm not worried about you. Next up, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. I honestly think it could go either way. So I don't really know how it's going to go. Nice. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. You know, like I think that it could go, you know, Red Sox 2 out of 3. It could go Mariners 2 out of 3. But it kind of depends on what happens here in game number 1. You know, whoever wins game 1 has the best chance to win 2 out of 3. I don't think you're going to get a sweep on either side, but we'll have to wait and see on how things kind of play out. Haniger hits that green monster. There we go. Pump the brakes. Go back to first. There we go. I like the trade. I think the Cardinals ended up getting a couple good quality players. You guys are still kind of floating around, you know, kind of that wild card territory. But as anyone knows baseball, the NL Central is always the most competitive division in baseball based on every team that's there. You always are going to have one team that kind of slightly breaks away from the others, like the Brewers right now. But usually there's a couple other teams that are close, and it'll kind of rotate between the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Pirates. So you don't really know who's going to end up making the playoffs. But if you guys can end up finishing strong, just like the Padres, you might not be able to win the division, but you might still be able to get in with the wild card. But I do like the moves that you guys made and the players that you gave up. I don't think it's really going to hurt you that much. And hopefully the new players come in, end up playing well for the St. Louis Cardinals. Pitches inside to Hollywood Josh Rojas. 2-0 count. Let's go Hollywood. 235 average when he was batting 300 to 350 at the beginning of the year. We need Hollywood to get back to his former self. 2-0 pitch. Rojas right up the middle. There we go. Haniger teasing going that he was going to go to third base, which would have been stupid. Now we got runners at first and second, baby. Nice job. You don't really expect a whole lot on the bottom end of your lineup with Haniger and Rojas, but we'll take it. Now we got guys, runners at first and second, and we got our best hitter in the box, center fielder Victor Robles. And he's a guy that could bunt right here. And like I told y'all, I think we should be bunting 2 to 4 times a game. I know we got guys that can hit, but again, if you can throw out a bunt, regardless if you're a good singles, doubles, RBI, or home run hitter, it could be an advantage that we can have in our back pocket. And I hope that we end up bunting a little bit more. You know, a guy like Victor Robles doesn't need to bunt, but it's the element of surprise. And as far as some of the guys lower in the lineup, if they bunt and they're having problems striking out, that could actually get them on base and move guys over. Now we just got to hope Robles doesn't hit into a double play here. 0-1 pitch. Robles. Uh-oh, I think I called it. Double play. There it is. See, every time I call double play, it happens. You know, it's almost like one of those things. You got guys on first and second, and there's one out. You know, it's almost like, okay, there's going to be a double play here. And then 9 times out of 10, it happens, whether it's your team or the other team. So I don't want to jinx us, you know, but again, when you got runners on first and second with one out, 9 times out of 10, you know, it feels like a double play is going to happen, and my ESP was right. Hopefully it doesn't happen too often, otherwise we're going to lose this game. All right, let's go to the bottom of the third, 0-0, Mariners and Red Sox, and it's definitely been a pitcher's duel with Logan Gilbert and Nick Pivetta. I think I just got to get to a point where I just don't even talk about it. There's guys on first and second with one out. I'm just never going to say double play because I think most baseball fans are already mentally thinking it. But then if I say it, the sports gods are listening, and then it happens. So I'm never going to talk about double plays ever again unless we need a double play. So I'll do it when the Red Sox have guys at first and second. But if the Mariners have guys at first and second, I'm not going to say it anymore because it seems like every time I do, we hit into a double play. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Boston Red Sox. Next up for the Red Sox in the 7-hole, catcher Connor Wong. No relation to Colton. Batting second in the 8-hole, second baseman David Hamilton. And batting third in the 9-hole, playing shortstop, Sedan Rafaela. Let's take a look at the stats for the pitchers up to this point, since we're about a third through the game. All right, Nick Pivetta, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Fucking solid. Let's take a look at Logan Gilbert here quickly. 2 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks. We got 7 Ks combined so far. Good start for both pitchers for the Mariners and the Red Sox. All right, let's go to the bottom of the third here. Next up is Connor Wong. First pitch to Wong on the corner for a strike. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 count. I think it's just like baseball. If you know the rules and you know how the gameplay goes, a lot of times you can kind of predict what's going to happen before it happens. And, it's a situational baseball. It's either you pay attention to the little things or you don't. But a lot of times, when you got guys at first and second with 1 out or no outs, the double play, it seems like it always happens for whatever reason. 1-2 pitch. Little dribbler into right field. Nice hit there by Connor Wong. Yeah, Judah, you and Brett actually live on the same side of the country. You guys are living very close to each other over there. You guys have pretty much the same teams that you guys root for. But I don't think that both of you guys have been in the room together that much. So it'll be a good chance for you guys to kind of go over the teams and the players that you guys root for. But you guys are pretty much identical based on the teams that you guys like, for the most part. Bottom of the third, 0-0 Mariners and Red Sox. Runner at first with Wong with that infield single that went to right field to the Seattle Mariners outfield. 0-1 count to David Hamilton. Pitch is low out of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. .261 average, 5 homers and 18 ribbies here in 2024. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And again, if anything sounds a little distorted with the microphones, let me know. I got new windscreens, obviously delivered last night. So I have to kind of monitor the volume as they were kind of breaking down earlier. When I had my old ones, I had the volume up a little bit higher to kind of, make up for the difference. And then I had to kind of adjust it to find the sweet spot. And again, it sounds like everything is okay, which is good. But I turned up the volume slightly before the broadcast since I have these brand new windscreens, and it almost feels like I got brand new mics in the building. Exciting. Bottom of the third, 0-0 Mariners and Red Sox. Runner at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch to David Hamilton. 2-2 pitch. Got him, baby. Nice job by Logan Gilbert, Stetson's finest. Let's go. We got a nice pitcher's duel here for the Mariners and the Red Sox. Next up for Boston, shortstop Ceddanne Rafaela. Big swing and a miss, behind the count, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Never popping the peas. Yeah, it's not actual new microphones. My microphones have already been pretty good. I ended up, kind of buying high-end microphones years ago just because I wanted to make sure, that these were going to last. And, I've had these for 8 years and I've never had an issue with them. But with the windscreen, they can get, dirty. They can break down because it's just like a layer of foam, But again, it does make a big difference when you get new ones. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Rafaela, behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We got a couple new subs here today as well. There we go. We got 2 new subs. We're getting closer to 20,400. 43 to go. Wow. Great save by Vossler there. See where we're at on the likes right now. We got about 40 people in the building. See where we're at on the likes. All right, we're at 30 likes. So there's about 10 people that haven't smashed the like button just yet. If you haven't done it yet, please do. Now we're at 31, and we want to try to get to 30 to 50 overall. But if we have a good number, even at the beginning of a stream, we should be able to get to 50 by the time the stream ends. 1-2 pitch. Line drive into Randy Arozarena country. Now you got runners at first and second with one out. So that means that they're going to hit into a double play. I shouldn't say it when the Mariners are at bat, but now we got the same exact scenario here for the Boston Red Sox. Two nice quality hits for Boston, but now you got one out, and now this is prime position for us to be able to have Jarren Duran hopefully hit into a double play, not hit a 3-run homer. And we know that Duran's got that ability. He is very, very good. Devers is the most popular player, but I think the X factors a lot of times will be guys like Duran, number 2, and Yoshida, number 3. You never can count out those guys in the lineup. Braden in the building, what's good? Him in the building, what's good? Megan in the building, no problem. Summer in the building, what's good? 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. 289 average, 13 homers, and 52 ribbies. And I know Jarren Duran is a lot of Red Sox fans' favorite, that's out there. I mean, Devers gets the most love, which he should, but I don't think that Duran, based off his skill set, is really that far behind. It really does make a nice 1-2-3 punch, with Devers, Duran, and Yoshida. I'm a little jealous. I would like to actually have those players in Seattle. I know that they're not going to be available, and they're a staple of Boston, but I would definitely love to have those players in Seattle. I respect all 3 of those guys. They're very good. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Not saying that the rest of the Red Sox lineup is trash. It's not. But again, when you got guys that are as good as those 3 at the top of the order, good things to come. And also the sleeper X factor this year has been Tyler O'Neill. I'm not sure if anyone thought he would be this good this season. Pitches low and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, if you're looking at O'Neill's numbers, they're right behind Devers. They're like kind of neck and neck with like home runs and impact plays. And then Duran and Yoshida might not be as impactful, game in and game out, but they can definitely do some damage, and you can't take them lightly. Solid squad for Boston. Wouldn't surprise me if they make the playoffs this year as a wild card. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss to Duran. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Story, yeah. But you have to be kind of excited as a Boston fan with not really a whole lot of expectations. And the main thing for you guys have to be able to win at Fenway, right? You guys have an under 500 record. You're 25 and 27. So if you guys can end up getting hot and get about 5 to 8 games above 500 at home, that might be the difference between you guys making the playoffs as a wild card team, falling behind the Yankees and the Orioles or not. Again, you're going to be able to do what you guys do on the road, right? But it's kind of crazy that you got a better record on the road than you do at home. And the fans are great at Fenway. It's not like you're not getting support, just a little bit of bad luck, playing at home. And maybe things will get a little bit better for you guys as the season goes on. I assume they will. We're at 10, 90 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's go, baby. Two balls and 2 strikes from Logan Gilbert to Jarren Duran. Little chopper right back up to Logan Gilbert. Double play, baby. Oh, just missed the double play, but it almost happened. Should have ended the inning, but that's Jarren running hard to first base like Luke Raley. Respect. All right, we need 8 more likes to get to 40. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 7 more to get to 40. Now we're at 33. Thank you so much. 40 in the building. We got about 7 or 8 people that haven't done it yet, but I know they will. Let's go. Fielder's choice with a runner out. But nice effort there by Jarren Duran with the hustle. Next up, right fielder Wilyer Abreu. Bottom of the third, runners on the corners at first and third. And now this is the first opportunity for Boston to take a lead if Abreu can get on base. We like Turner, again, because, obviously we want, Vlad, but we don't want to give up the whole farm. But it sounds like Vlad might not be available anymore, based on the phone calls and some of the things that have been coming out that supposedly Bo Bichette and Vlad were available. Big swing and a miss to Abreu, 0-2 count. But there is some sources speculating that they changed their mind, that they are going to hang on to him and seeing if they can work out a contract after next year and seeing if they can keep him in Toronto because his contract is up, obviously, after this year going into 2025. But Justin Turner is old. He's 39. He had great years on the Dodgers. Then he went to the Red Sox. Then he went to the Blue Jays. And he's a little bit older, but he's a great clubhouse guy. He's got a great fucking attitude. 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards first foul. But the thing is about Justin Turner that, if you're a smart Mariner fan, right, that you like, is that he can play first base, second base, emergency, third base, emergency, and he can DH. So we really got him to be DH, or to be a first base guy, if we don't get Vlad. So I like that. I think Vossler should be the everyday DH guy, but if they decide to make Justin Turner that guy, I'm not going to cry about it. But Tyler Locklear needs to be probably improved, that first base position. And then again, when Julio comes back, we'll move Robles to right field. So we'll have Arozarena in left, Julio in center, and then obviously Victor Robles in right. Pitches inside, 1-2 count to Wilyer Abreu. So I feel that once we get JP and Julio back, we're not going to really have that many weak spots in the lineup. We got Robles, we got Arozarena, we got Cal, Polo is hitting now, then you'll have JP and Julio, Vossler, right, Rojas, and then you just got to figure out, once Demo obviously hits the bench, because JP is back, that's a given. He's a platoon guy, pitches low and outside out of the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, Haniger and Demo and Rayleigh are probably going to get the short end of the stick. They're probably not going to get as much playing time. But again, if the lineup ends up being like that, what I mentioned, it's going to be one of the strongest 1 through 9s in baseball. Then, again, if we get Vlad, then we're going to be up there. Oh, wild pitch, and there comes in a run. 1-0 Boston. Nothing Cal Raleigh could do right there. Logan Gilbert, come on, Bubba. And that's the worst thing that you could ask for a Mariner fan. A great thing there for Britt and for Judah. But that one got away from Cal Raleigh and got away from Logan Gilbert. And wild pitch. Long scores on the wild pitch. 1-0 Red Sox. Nice play there by Boston. Good awareness. He already had about a 10-foot lead off third base. So that was a very easy trot into home. Steven in the building. What's good? Abreu fouls that one back. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's all good, man. It's early. The pitcher's duel. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to get double plays. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to get things going. But if we did end up getting Vlad Jr., we're going to be right there, with all the other teams, the Guardians, the Royals, the Twins, the Yankees. Like I said, right now, we might be the 5th or 6th best in the American League, but once we get JP Julio back, and if we do get Vlad, we're going to be right there with the Guardians, Orioles, and Yankees, and who knows what could happen. But I still think that could be the same type of product even if we don't get Vlad. We just need all our guys to get healthy at the same time and feed off of each other, and you never know how far Seattle could go. But as long as you make the playoffs, anything can happen. But the excitement level would be crazy if we ended up getting Vlad. You get a player like that, that would mean that we would end up getting the 2 arguably best popular players in this deadline with Randy Arozarena and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and they both go to Seattle. So I still think we can go far without him, but when you add a guy like Vlad who can play DH or first base, it would be huge. The vibes would be through the roof. 3-2 pitch. Abreu fouls that one back. Count remains 3-2. But then if we do get rid of Vlad, that would mean that, Harry Ford is gone. That would also mean that Cole Young is gone, and Colt Emerson would probably be gone. We would lose at least 3 out of the top 4 farm guys, and the only guy we would have left is probably Lazaro Montez and a few others, you know. But I know for some Mariner fans, that would be worth it. So 3-2 pitch. That one, chop foul. Steven with $1. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. $1 holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Megan with a tour. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack, bang, bang. Polo can't play defense, and it's 2-0 Red Sox. We need to be able to figure out, you know, and again, that's why it's so important to be able to hang on to guys like Colt Emerson and Cole Young, because that could be someone that we could actually have in there that can play defense. Polo can't play defense. He can only hit. So if that's the case, maybe we need to move Polo to DH, you know, and have him rotate there, because it just seems like every day, you know, and I'm not sure if he was even going to be able to get to that baseball there out of position. Right? He dove for it. But it seems like he either makes an error or two, or he's out of position 1 or 2 times a game. And that's a damn shame for a guy that we booed for about a month and a half. You know, and then now has been hitting home runs and getting hits and RBIs. But again, he's a one-way player. He can't fucking play defense. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. That's why I think some Mariner fans are hesitant on trading for Vlad, if Vlad is even available. Because if we have the future shortstop or first baseman with like Colt Emerson or Cole Young, that could be like a stud star, you know, maybe not superstar, but like a star, you know, do we really want to give that up? You know, like, because Lazaro Montez can play in the outfield, right? Harry Ford can play catcher, shortstop, or second base, as well as DH. And then Colt Emerson and Cole Young can play second base or shortstop. Uh-oh. Yoshida, back, gone. 4-0 Red Sox. And like I mentioned, if you don't take this team seriously, right, they're going to blast you. And Yoshida right down the middle, 4-0 Boston. Looks like they're going to win 2 out of 3. That's tough. First pitch fastball right down the middle, and you can't do that to Yoshida, just like I mentioned about 5 minutes ago. You know, with guys in the lineup, you have to be careful where you pitch Devers, right, and O'Neill with their home runs. But if you take Duran and Yoshida for granted, they will fucking make you pay. And as all fans have just watched, not a sight to see unless you're a Red Sox fan like Judah and Britt. Now we dug ourselves in a big hole here. Daniel in the building, what's good? But I don't think Vlad is available. I think they changed their mind on him, and I don't think he's going to get moved. I think that's a big reason why we ended up getting Justin Turner today. But we'll find out tomorrow, you know, if Vlad ends up getting moved. But my gut tells me he's not going to be moved, and he'll be on the Blue Jays. So. Well, anytime you play on the road, right, or at home, you're not going to get every call to go your way. Now it looks like Cal Raleigh is banged up a little bit. Hopefully he's all right. Was it like a deflection? Oh, no, he got a baseball in the nutsack. And on the hand, too. Got to be careful. Did it get him in the thumb, in the leg? Oh, shit. Hopefully Cal's okay. And Cal's a tough son of a bitch. He'll fight through the pain. But again, you know, momentum is everything in sports. You know, and again, yeah, you know, the double play was, you know, almost there. You know, Duran ran it out, you know, and there's always going to be questionable calls, you know, obviously with the umps in their strike zone, you know, but again, and when you go on the road, you know, one run leads to another, and you have to play your cleanest ball, especially when you got a team that's on the fringe of making a wild card like Boston is, you know, and then after this series, we play the Phillies. So again, you know, we want to win 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox and the Phillies, but realistically, we're probably going to win 1 out of 3. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And again, we don't got JP and Julio. You know, you got to remember, this is not a 100% healthy team just yet. And even if we had JP and Julio, we still might only win 1 out of 3. You know, you still got to be able to respect what Boston is bringing. You know, it's not like this team is a shit team. You know, this team is like right there, you know, in the playoff hunt. You know, they might not be able to get first over the Yankees and the Orioles, but they're definitely good enough to be one of those teams that makes a wild card for sure. But again, it all depends if you actually follow baseball other than just one team or your favorite team. I try to follow the league as a whole, so no bias here. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Red Sox. 2 outs, 1-2 count to Rafael Devers. We're at 13. 87 to go. And now Logan Gilbert is getting roughed up all the way to right field. You got to pull Logan, man. You know, and again, sometimes our pitchers are going to be very, very good, and sometimes the hitters are just going to have their day. And Logan Gilbert and George Kirby might be our best pitchers on our staff, and we might have a top 3, you know, starting lineup, but they're not going to pitch great every single outing. You know, sometimes they're just not going to have their stuff, and sometimes you just got to give the Boston Red Sox hitters credit. You know, we're not going to be able to smoke every single batter every single day. You know, you got to remember, playing the White Sox, right, and playing the Red Sox is completely different. White Sox are one of the worst teams in baseball. The Red Sox, you know, are one of the better teams. Maybe not one of the best, but there's another hit. 5-0 Red Sox. You know, you should have already pulled Logan Gilbert already, you know. But again, our bullpen stinks, right? And that's a problem, right? And normally, if you had a better bullpen, you can afford to pull Logan Gilbert when it's 3-0. But now you get greedy and you don't have anybody that you feel comfortable putting in, right? And then he has to go an extra 1 or 2 innings, and the Boston Red Sox are raking now. I mean, you got to understand, Duran is a stud. Yoshida is a stud. Devers is a stud. And Tyler O'Neill is a stud. Like, if you don't understand that, you will after watching this series. I mean, I know some people don't watch Boston on a regular basis, but you know, now you'll know. Shouldn't be a big surprise unless this is not something new to you. But again, if our bullpen was better, we would have already pulled them, or at least I would have, you know. Again, you can already see the writing on the wall. When momentum is happening, you can tell Logan's fucked. He's mentally fucked. Like, he doesn't have his speed. He doesn't have his location. The Red Sox, they're into it, you know. And again, we don't have a whole lot of confidence in our bullpen because a lot of the guys stink. They're not good. That's why we need to keep adding guys. You know, we ended up getting Jimmy Garcia, but we need more than that. You know, Santos gets injured and we got Munoz. It's not like we can bring in Munoz in the 3rd inning. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to take the L and then hopefully come back tomorrow with a stronger outing. Bottom of the 3rd, 5-0 Red Sox. But at least on the bright side, our hitters with this roster that we have right now are better than what we had a couple weeks ago. So if it was a couple weeks ago, we would probably lose this game 10-0. There is a still small chance that we could get to 4 to 5 runs before this game is over, right? But by the time we do that, how many runs do the Red Sox have? 6, 7, 8? So we got to stop the bleeding at some point, but you know, it is what it is. Bottom of the 3rd, 5-0 Boston. Runner at second with 2 outs. 3-2 pitch to Smith. See, hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Pull this guy already. 6-0 Red Sox. You know, the right. That's the thing that makes a lot of Mariner fans upset, is that Scott Service, you know, you're like, okay, you can tell that the game is over, you know, and the pitcher doesn't have it, and we don't have enough talent in the bullpen to bring someone else in. So he's forced to stay with the starting pitcher at least until the 5th inning. You know, but if we had a better bullpen, we could pull him in the 3rd, but we don't. So that's why he's sticking with these guys, because as bad as it looks right now with Logan Gilbert, it's just going to be equally as bad as if we bring in Taylor Saucedo or any of the other bullpen guys, right? But you could have pulled them earlier at a 3-0 lead, and now it's 6-0. So when it's at 3-0, it kind of felt like maybe we had a chance, but it wasn't looking good. But now it's 6-0. I mean, we're done. The game is over. terrible outing for Logan Gilbert, but a great job by the Boston Red Sox. You know, I can't talk shit or be a hater. I mean, they got good players, you know, and that's why it's kind of crazy that they're below 500 at home. They're 25 and 27. But if they end up sweeping us, then they'll be one game above. So again, it's not going to get any easier. You know, again, we're going to have this 3-game set. We have a day off, and then we got a 3-game set against the Phillies, and that's a team that could beat the brakes off of us as well. So we need Julio back more than ever, as well as J.P. Crawford, because it's not going to get any easier as we go further along into the season. Bottom of the third, 6-0 Red Sox. Yeah, but Scott Service isn't really the brightest, though, Brett. And again, if we had a better bullpen, we would have pulled him, you know. But again, he's the type of guy to keep a guy in there too long. And when you keep a guy in there too long, then you go from 3-0 to 6-0, then the game's over. And that's why people want Scott Service fired, you know, those type of decisions. Now, if we would have brought in another pitcher, right, would the score still be 6-0? Probably. You know, if we put in Taylor Saucedo, or we would have put in someone else, Austin Both, you know, they could have still got raked up for another 3 runs, right? And the score could still be 6-0. So it's just the simple fact, when you know a guy doesn't have it, and then you need to be able to pull him, and you know it, everyone knows it, and then you stick with him a little bit longer, and then the lead doubles, that's when people get frustrated and want people to leave, you know. Now we're bringing in Trent Thornton. That's one of the worst outings there for Logan Gilbert, the all-star. But again, you know, if you're not watching Boston on a regular basis, they got good players. This is not playing like if any Mariner fan thought that this was going to be like playing the Chicago White Sox, you're clearly mistaken, okay? The Red Sox and the White Sox are on two opposite ends of the spectrum. One team is dog shit, and then the other team is kind of getting hot at the right time, so. Nice job by Trent Thornton. Nice pitch there, bud. Even Cal can't get it. Wow, almost a homer off the fucking Green Monster. This is not ending. 7-0 Red Sox. Is this inning going to end with a bleeding stop? My goodness. And even guys, you know, towards the bottom end. I mean, Connor Wong missed a homer by just a couple feet. And let's be honest, you know, the Green Monster, that's hard to hit home runs. It's not like it's easy to hit it there. There's a lot of other major league ballparks where they have a tiny little ass wall where you can end up hitting a home run, not actually having to hit over like 10 fucking walls like in the Green Monster. Got him. Finally, we get out of the inning because Connor Wong slipped off third base there, but the damage is done. 7-0 Red Sox. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. I'm going to need it for my mental health after this. Let me know what you guys want to do for the 2 photos there. Let me know what you want to do for photos, Megan, as well as Steven. See where we're at on the likes right now. All right, we're at 41 likes. Great start considering we're getting our ass kicked here only a third of the way through the game. Now we're at 42. We're going to have a good chance to get 50 to 70 likes in this stream depending on how the game goes, even though it's a blowout. We're at 42, 8 more to get to 50. And if we can get to 50 before we get to the 6th inning, that might be the fastest that we've hit that number in a minute. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. I'm going to need some therapy after this one. Well, Mariner fans, our mental health is not very good at the moment, but hey, if you're a Red Sox fan, your mental health is great. And addiction, depression, anxiety, you know, these are things that a lot of us go through on the daily, not just when we watch the Mariners, but just in our everyday life. Okay. And if you're slipping into the darkness a little bit right now, watching the Red Sox beat the brakes off our Mariners 7-0, make sure you're doing little things and little adjustments to win the day. If you're not exercising, get out there and get a walk. If you're not eating healthy and you're eating fast food every day, stop and try to make an effort to eat healthier. Listen to music 30 minutes a day. Spend time with your friends and pets. You'd be really surprised if you make a little bit of effort in your life, you can come out the other side a little bit quicker and win the day. Good facts. Top of the fourth, 7-0 Boston. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder. We got our work out for us now, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. And batting third, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Let's go Mariners. DX with a tenner, appreciate you. Oh, we're getting crushed. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang bang, $10 holla. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, Turner should be able to help us. Randy and Garcia and Turner, I think most Mariner fans, nice double there by Randy Arozarena, trying to be able to stop the bleeding here. Nice job, Randy. First hit that left the infield. We like that. Nice job, Randy. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And I'm not sure if Steven is still in the building. He might have donated the $1, saw the Mariners fall apart in that last half inning and left. But if Steven is still in the building, let me know what you want to do for a photo. You might be looking for therapy like a lot of us after this game. Little chopper. Throw to first. One away. And Randy advances to third base. One away. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Polo. First pitch popped up. Arozarena tags up. Run, baby. Arozarena's got speed. 7-1 Boston. There we go. Nice job, Randy. It's not pretty, but hey, we're down by 6 now. That's better than being down 7. Next up, right fielder Luke Raley. Pitch in the zone for a strike. Being a fan isn't always about, when we're winning. It's going to be one of those things, you got to go through the ups and the downs. It's not always going to be pretty. Some games are going to be great. Some games are going to be tough. And, sometimes you'll have epic comebacks and sometimes you'll have epic blowouts. But it doesn't really feel like we're going to come back fully in this game, but you never know. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is inside. 1-2 count to Luke Raley. Stefan, okay. I got you. 1-2 pitch. There goes Luke Raley. Struggles continue. Go to the bottom of the fourth, 7-1 Red Sox. We'll get some F1 there for DX. I'll hit Steven up there with some Julio. We need you back, Julio, more than ever. We need this more than ever. Trident's up. I may make some more room here. All right, we're in the bottom of the fourth, 7-1 Boston. Next up is David Hamilton. One-0 pitch. Pitches outside with Trent Thornton on the mound. 2-0 count. Shows you how important, starting pitching and bullpen really is. Once you got one guy that gets roughed up, you want to be able to have guys that are the backups that you can rely on, not feel like they're, worse than what you got. And obviously the bullpen guys are not going to be as good as your starters, but you don't want them to be fucking terrible where, you have a little bit of a lead and then it disappears right away. So, and I'll get those Carlos Sainz photos up here for you, DX, here in a moment. 2 balls and 2 strikes to David Hamilton. One away. Next up for the Red Sox, shortstop Sedan Rafaela. Come on, Mariners. Keep fighting. Rafaela popped up right in front of Luke Raley. Nice little bloop single into right field. Seven-1 Boston. Bottom of the fourth with a runner at first. Next up is Jarren Duran. Duran crushes that one foul. Which is low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trying to get some Carlos photos for DX prepped here. Duran, unbelievable. Over the first baseman and Voss. And we're getting roughed up here today. Runners at first and second. Nope, second and third with 1 out. 7-1 Boston. I got a couple fire F1 photos here for DX. Carlos Sainz. Those F1's photos are always fire. See if I can get Another one or two once we go to commercial. Next up, right fielder Wilyer Abreu. Runners at second and third with one out. When will the bleeding stop? Pitch is low and inside. 1-0 count. Abreu. Off the wall. Golly. How many is that going to bring in? Another double. 8-1 Boston. Unbelievable. Doubles on doubles on doubles, I guess. Now we're already back against Masataka Yoshida. And so this almost feels like the Red Sox are treating us how we treated the White Sox, where we were just beating the brakes off of them. Now we're getting a taste of our own medicine against Chicago, and Boston is doing it to us. Tough. I was hoping for a kind of a competitive matchup in these three games. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but I guess now people can give a little bit more respect to the Boston Red Sox, and they're not going to play like this every game, but again, they definitely are playing very, very well here this afternoon/evening. 0-1 pitch for Yoshida. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two 2-1 count to Yoshida. Bottom of the fourth, 8-1 Boston. Uh-oh. Yoshida with another hit. 9-1 Red Sox. Unbelievable. 10-1 Red Sox. It just never ends. My God. Like that? Next up for the Red Sox, third baseman Rafael Devers. 10-1 Boston. Unbelievable. Pitches inside, 2 balls and no strikes. 1 for 2 with a double in the third and a run. But again, if Mariner fans are not familiar with Jarren Duran, Masataka Yoshida, Rafael Devers, Tyler O'Neill, now you will be. If you had any doubt if these guys were that good, now you know. And again, it's just we needed Logan Gilbert to pitch well, 5 or 6 innings to even have a shot today. And when you get roughed up early, even though there was a missed, strike 3 call, but again, we're not going to always get every call to go our way. We know how umps are, and a lot of the umps have been, I don't want to say every ump is Angel Hernandez, but it's going to be one of those things where momentum is real, and sometimes when you can't stop the bleeding, you bleed out, and we definitely have bled out. Pitch on the corner for a strike to Tyler O'Neill. 0-1 count. Pitch is high out of the zone, but he went around. No balls and 2 strikes. 273 average, 22 homers, and 44 ribbies for Tyler O'Neill. It's all good, Captain. See you tomorrow. We'll play better tomorrow. 0-2 pitch. And there we go. We finally get out of the inning, but the damage is done. 10-1 Boston. a couple photos up here for DX. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. See if I can squeeze in one more. Obviously part of the Ferrari team. Appreciate you, bro. I'm going to add those to your file. End of the fourth inning, 10-1 Red Sox. Not every game is going to go your way, you know. It's a long season. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Top of the fifth, 10-1 Red Sox. Next up for the Mariners, Dylan Moore. Pitches inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Demo is 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Yeah, I mean, we had a questionable strike 3 that wasn't called, and then the momentum just shifted, and then it was just hit after hit after hit, double after double, home run, you know, and then just the bleeding, we just bled out, you know, and again, Logan didn't really pitch that well, and, you know, Boston hitters were on point, and, you know, when you give up 7 runs in the third and 3 in the fourth, and they got 10 runs off 12 hits, I mean, what do you do? You know, there's nothing you can do, you know, and again, I think maybe the expectations were too high for some Mariner fans after, you know, beating the brakes off of one of the worst teams in baseball and the White Sox. I think a lot of Mariner fans thought we were going to come in here to Boston and win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3. And a lot of those fans have not watched Boston all year, and it shows. You know, again, I try to watch a little bit of everybody, you know, throughout the league, and you know, just try to keep an even head on everything. And now, did I predict us getting our ass kicked 10-1? No, but I figured we would win 1 out of 3, and then we would win 1 out of 3 against the Phillies in the next series. Best case scenario, 2 out of 3, but it would all depend of whoever won game 1. So since Boston won game 1, they more than likely are going to win another game in the series based off this momentum. And hopefully we don't get swept. But we definitely need Julio and JP to, you know, come back as soon as possible. But it happens. You know, you're not going to be able to play like we do, you know, score 22 runs in 3 games against one of the bottom feeders in the White Sox and think we're going to do the same shit against a team that's probably going to make the playoffs as a wild card team and the Boston Red Sox. So, you know, it's a little, you know, it's a little harsh. You know, I don't think anyone likes losing 10-1, but hopefully we can put up at least 4 or 5 runs before the game ends, gain a little momentum into tomorrow. So, Logan did not pitch well today. But you got to give credit to the hitters for Boston. I'm not sure if it was really Logan was bad. I just think that, you know, Boston took advantage of where Logan was pitching and made him pay. So 1-2 pitch. And it shows you how momentum in sports, you know, all it takes is like 1 or 2 hits. And then all of a sudden, you know, once they ended up having a 3-0 lead, we should have pulled him. But Service didn't, and he waited until it got to 6-0. And then at that point, it was already over, you know. But if you don't trust your bullpen and you don't have guys that you can bring in the 3rd inning, when you're counting on your starters to go 5, 6, 7 innings, then that's the problem you have. You hang on to a guy that doesn't have his stuff, and then you double up your lead, going from 3-0 to 6-0 for Boston, and that's exactly what happened. And by the time you pull them in the third inning when it's 6-0, you're done. The game's over, There we go, off the wall. There we go, Voss. So at least we have something to cheer for here. Nice job, baby. Jason Vossler getting a hit in every game that he's played. And again, if we can get to 4 or 5 runs before the game ends, I think that's a win for us. We're not going to get the dub in the win column, but if we get 4 or 5 runs instead of getting 1 or 2 and just giving up, we might have a chance to win 1 game in the series. And who knows what will happen, on Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe we win on Tuesday and Wednesday. We don't really know what's going to happen. Nice job by Voss getting that hit off the Green Monster. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. Astros traded for Kikuchi. I'm okay. A lot of other Mariner fans and other people, they get too angry and stuff. I don't get angry anymore. My mental health is, I do this as a full-time job. I've been grinding for years. So I don't let my teams dictate my mental health, anymore, like I did maybe when I was in my 20s. So, there's always another game tomorrow to be able to prove ourselves. So, but yeah, I am streaming SummerSlam 100%. So we're going to do the game today, the game tomorrow, the game Wednesday. Mariners have the day off on Thursday. I'll do the Texans and Bears for the first preseason game for the Hall of Fame. Then we'll do the Phillies on Friday. And then we'll do SummerSlam on Saturday. And then we'll do Phillies on Sunday. So it'll be a jam-packed week for sure. 2-2 pitch from Pivetta to Haniger. On the corner and got him. There goes Mitch Haniger. Next up, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. To refresh everything there. Still had the Mariners score with Boston at 7-1. Most of the time it just auto refreshes on its own, but anytime I catch that it's lagging too far, unless the ESPN workers went to the bathroom, then I know I can refresh it and it'll update. Top of the 5th, 10-1 Red Sox. Runner at first, 2 outs. 1-2 count from Pivetta to Hollywood Josh Rojas. We're at 23, 77 to go. Pitch is low, in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, if this game actually was good and competitive, we could have ended up hitting a really high number, I think, on the likes and probably got a few more, big donos to come through. But, some Mariner fans can't handle, us just getting actually just, our ass kicked like this. I get it, But for me, I watch games from beginning to end. Some fans, they get too angry, and I get it. You just want to turn it off or, go for a walk or do something else. 10-1 is not easy to handle. 3-2 pitch, and there goes Josh Rojas. Pivetta is dealing. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th, see who's up next. Seems like the Red Sox have gone through their order many, many times already. Next up for the Red Sox, 1 for 3 with 2 runs and a K, Jarren Duran. Batting second, 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs and a K, Wilyer Abreu. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run and 4 RBIs already, DHing for Boston, Masataka Yoshida. I got to stop talking about good about so many Red Sox players. It's like the sports gods heard that, and then they just went off. I mean, it's crazy. Everyone's got a hit for Boston except for Hamilton. That's crazy. And some guys have multiple hits. Literally everyone. Duran, 1 for 3. Abreu, 2 for 3. Yoshida, 2 for 3. Devers, 1 for 3. O'Neill, 1 for 3. Smith, 1 for 2. Wong, 2 for 2. Rafaela, 2 for 2. Hamilton, 0 for 2. So 8 out of their 9 guys have at least 1 hit. Some guys have 2, and that's why we're down 10-1. That's a pretty good self-explanation there. All right, we need 5 more likes to get to 50 before the game ends, and I think we will be able to get there, even though this is an ass kicking. Now we need 4 more likes to get there. Next up for the Red Sox, first baseman Dominic Smith. Bottom of the 5th, 10-1 Red Sox. Uh-oh, Dominic Smith, back, gone. And that fan missed that home run ball. 11-1 Red Sox. I guess when it rains, it pours. All right, no worries, Megan. Appreciate you. I mean, by the time this game ends, Boston might have 20 runs. 11-1 Boston. Next up, catcher Connor Wong. Make the bleeding stop. No, it's not over. What are you talking about? Only down 10. Been over for a long time, like 3 innings ago. Now the fan is explaining how it hit off his palm. Bucks Rays Bolts in the building. What's good? Bottom of the 5th, 11-1 Red Sox. 1-1 count to Connor Wong, 2 for 2 with a double single and an RBI run. It's all good, man. It's not how you act when you're winning, it's when you're losing. Facts. Never give up. Even when we're down 10. You got to look at the little wins out of things. Of course, we're not going to come back and win this game and get 10 runs. But I'm telling you, if we end up getting 4 or 5 runs before the game ends, we're going to have a better chance of winning tomorrow. And now if we end up losing this game like 16-1, we're not winning tomorrow more than likely. You know, we'll have a good chance of getting swept. So you have to take the little wins, you know, not only in life, you know, but in every game that you're playing. So you're going to get your ass kicked. The game is over, but are you giving up? You know, are you still going to have a couple people that are going to try to step up that still care about this game and the series? You know, and we'll be able to see on who's playing hard and who's thinking about dinner and drinks later tonight. You know, and again, what you do tonight will affect what happens on Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, but again, if we're just going to lay over and roll over and die, we're going to, you know, we end up losing this game 18-1. You know, we're going to end up maybe getting swept. You know, and I don't want us to get swept. I want us to compete. So I'll take an ass whooping in game 1, but hopefully things will be slightly better in game 2, and then maybe we'll get a game in game 3. But you know, again, effort is everything in sports. You know, and again, you can lose, but it's much better to lose. You know, if we're going to lose like 15-1 or 18-1, it's a lot better to lose 15-5 rather than 15-1. Even though an L is an L, but the effort can carry over to the following game. So we'll see if we end up having anybody on the team that steps up. And you can tell a lot about a player when they're in adversity, when things are not looking good, on who actually cares about, playing, who cares about the team, who cares about their stats, who cares about, the following games coming up. And I know it's definitely hard to be able to get in the right mindset when you're getting absolutely fucking crushed 11-1. But, this is a wake-up call for Mariner fans. This is not going to be easy like when it was against the White Sox. Totally different team. They both wear socks. One is white and one is red, but they're not equally the same type of team. You got one that's the shittiest team in baseball and one that's probably going to make the playoffs. So, if you thought the Red Sox were the White Sox, you're clearly mistaken. One pitch to David Hamilton, popped up. Back. And Robles runs it down. 2 away. Next up for the Red Sox, shortstop, 2 for 2 with a run, Sedan Raffaella. You're not getting the sweep. Not happening. We'll win at least one. I don't know if that's tomorrow or on Wednesday, but we're not getting swept. We'll win at least one. Whoever won game 1 was going to have the chance to win 2 out of 3. And a sweep could happen. But I think that we'll play better, tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't know what day is going to be the best day for us, but I don't think that we're going to lose every game like this. At least I hope not. Because if we end up getting swept by the Red Sox, we might get swept by the Phillies, and that would not be good, with the Astros and Rangers right there with us. Little dribbler, throw to first, wild throw to first base. I don't know what the hell that was. Who was that? Was that Polo? Jesus Christ, man. God damn, Jorge Polanco is garbage at defense. Get his ass out of there. Polanco, what are you doing, bud? Throw to first, sidearms it about a foot over Vossler's head, you idiot. This guy's terrible at defense. Get his ass out of there. It's like cool, you can hit, but you can't fucking defend with shit. You are the worst defender on the team by a lot. Unbelievable. Next up for the Red Sox, Jarren Duran. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. A lot of Mariner fans need some mental health help after this one. All right, where we at? 4 more likes to get to 50. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 3 more to 50. But again, I'm built different compared to, most Mariner fans and most sports fans. A lot of times, they'll get into a mood when this type of shit happens. And I would have, been a different type of person when I was younger. But when you mature and you get a little bit older, you find different ways to be able to handle, tough situations like this. How you handle adversity in life really shows your maturity. Some people can handle it, some people can't. And a lot of younger versions of ourselves can't handle this, right? And it's not pretty, it's not fun to get your ass kicked by 10 runs, but I'm very interested to see who plays hard here in these last 4 innings. Popped up, off the wall. And how many hits are they going to have off the wall in this game, the Red Sox? Unbelievable. 12-1 Boston. Duran doubled to left. Raffaella scored. 12-1 Boston. Next up, right fielder Willie Abreu, 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a K. There goes Trent Thornton. He did equally as bad as Logan Gilbert. Now they're going to go with another pitcher. I don't think I've seen this many hits off the wall in a minute, though. And again, it's not like I'm watching every single Boston Red Sox game, but this is the most hits off the wall against Seattle that I can remember. You guys are definitely playing well. Odin in the building. What's good? How's Monday Night Raw going? SummerSlam this weekend. Are you going to be able to hang out with us during the stream on Saturday, or do you have plans? No way. Really? I can't wait for SummerSlam. And the card looks pretty good. I mean, there's a couple matches that might be a little boring, but I think a majority of the card, looks pretty exciting. That it could be pretty good. So should be a must-see TV show. And of course, I'm not going to not stream it. We're going to stream every single month. And once Monday Night Raw goes to Netflix, there probably will be some times where we do a Monday Night Raw stream if everyone's going to get it at the same time. The West Coast and people live in the Midwest and the East Coast, if we're all going to get it at the same time, and we have like a shitty Monday Night Football matchup or it's not football season, yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to do like a watch party, reactions, to Monday Night Raw. And obviously Monday Night Raw, since Triple H took over, has been very, very good. So it'll give us another opportunity to kind of hang out 4 extra times throughout the month, where we can actually have 5 live streams of wrestling in the month. Every Monday with Monday Night Raw, or maybe every other Monday, and then obviously the pay-per-view every month. Nice. Bottom of the 5th, 12-1 Red Sox. Runner at second with 2 outs. Now they got Gabe Spire in here, the Pat McAfee lookalike. 0-1 pitch. Wilyer Abreu chops that one foul. Yeah, Shawn Michaels has been running NXT for a long time. But I guess it just depends on how hardcore of a wrestling fan you are. Some of us in the room and a part of the channel are watching every show, beginning to end, and others are occasional watchers. Kind of just depends on what era you grew up in and how old you are, and I guess how much you love wrestling or not. But ever since Triple H took over for Vince, everything has been night and day difference. When it was in COVID, AEW was better than WWE for a couple years, and then as soon as Vince got pushed out with all the bullshit and the sexual allegations and all the crazy behavior that he fucking finally got what was deserved to him, right? Getting booted out of WWE supposedly. With Triple H taking over with Stephanie and Khan and the rest of the creative group. It's been lights out. It's been 10 out of 10. And I think the fans are really appreciating what Triple H is bringing to WWE. Count is full to Wilyer Abreu, 3-2 count. Big swing and a miss. There goes Abreu. Finally get out of an inning. End of the 5th, 12-1 Boston. Yeah, that would be nice. Definitely an ugly game here. Yeah, it kind of depends on when you've been watching, though. Britt, you're only 30. You're pretty young. There's some people, that have been watching for 30 years. And again, if you go back to the Divas and where it is now, the women's division in WWE is much better than any women division in any other federation. Better than AEW, better than NJPW, better than Impact or anything else, or ROH. It just depends if you have a connection, to what they have there. but they have more athletic bodies than they've ever had in the existence of WWE. But again, it kind of just depends on who your favorite wrestlers are and what you're looking to watch, based on what you like and whatnot. So yeah, but it's definitely come a long ways, because even back in the day, it's one thing to have like a pretty face, where they are, obviously sex sells. So they try to have a lot of the, ladies look like they're like Playboy playmates and whatnot. But again, just because you look the part, if you can't wrestle and you can't talk on the mic, you're only going to get so many fans to root for you, and again, if you can talk on the mic and you can wrestle, then it takes you to a whole nother level. So, it is what it is. I think NXT was the best, back when we had Undisputed Era, when it was in the black and gold, back in the day, kind of where COVID was back in the day. That's when NXT was at its very, very best, but it's not as good as it, was, back a few years ago, and obviously Raw is the best, SmackDown 2, NXT 3, but there was a point where NXT was number one, believe it or not, but that's when, Vince was running it, Raw and SmackDown, and you had like Triple H and Shawn Michaels running NXT, and it showed. So top of the 6, 12-1 Boston. Like for me, I like to be able to see, talent, so again, you can have like the ladies looking like Mandy Rose and whatnot. That could be like a pretty face, but if you can't spit on the mic and you're not good on the microphone, you don't really do a whole lot for me and stuff. So it's kind of nice with like wrestlers like Rhea Ripley and whatnot. It's like you can kind of have like an emo goth look, which is a little bit different than any other wrestler, and I like that. I like to have the originality and where you don't have to be like every single other wrestler, and I like to have, different types of personalities, different types of gimmicks and whatnot, instead of just having everyone try to, be a pretty face out there. One away. We're in the top of the 6th, 12-1 Boston. Robles ended up striking out. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Oh, Randy. But again, I've been watching, sports and wrestling since like 85. So, I've literally gone through the video game era, the internet era. I've gone through the best wrestling era in the 80s and the 90s. Peak wrestling was 1995 to 1999. That's when the wrestling was at its absolute peak for ECW with RVD and Sabu, going through WCW with the NWO. And when you're NWO for life, right? And then you had DX, Stone Cold, The Rock. That's when it was at its very peak, And that one is drifting. Oh, did that go? Wow, Randy Arozarena with his first home run in a Seattle Mariner uniform. I thought that was fading foul, but they called it fair. 12-2 Mariners. Now we're on our way, baby. There we go. Nice job, Randy. First home run for Randy Arozarena. But a lot of Mariner fans have turned the game off. But at least I get to have that memory. Here we go. You can give me a spoiler if you want. Let's go, man. Like I said, not everything is going to go our way. Like I said, you got to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not easy being able to go through the losses. But you never know what can end up happening as the game goes on. Well, you have to understand, Britt, with long-term storytelling, you have to have good writers to be able to come up with that. And there's so many wrestlers and not enough time in the shows where, they have to pick and choose how they're going to do the long-term story, telling. Like if they actually have guys like Cody that are worthwhile to do it, or Roman, You know, there's not going to be every wrestler deserves long-term storytelling, you know, because people's interests are going to be, you know, hot 1 minute and maybe not later on. The home run, baby. You know what I'm saying? Or like with the Shield, with, you know, when we had Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins and you know, Roman Reigns, like, you know, there's not going to be long-term storytelling, and also you have to have, you know, the good writers to be able to come up with these concepts as well, you know. And that was the problem back in the day, because, you know, WWE was in Vince's head. It was how he wanted to vision, you know, WWE. He didn't give a shit about the fans or anybody else. You know, he wanted to do it based on what he liked. So if he liked big men, that's who was going to get the belt. And if he hated factions, then he was going to shit on those ideas, right? Even though factions are cool, but he had the final word. So now we're getting into Triple H era, where he kind of listens to, you know, what the fans are clearly, you know, kind of cheering for and what they like. And if they like factions and they like this type of storyline, he might not do everything that the fans want, but I think the fans are being heard and listened to a little bit more than just having the WWE shaped in Vince's image. And that was the problem, you know, back then, because you had fucked up endings. You know, you'd have guys like Brock Lesnar with 1 minute squash matches, or you'd end up having these matches on paper that look like they would be okay, but they would have a fucked up ending at the end. And a lot of people were disappointed at the end of the pay-per-view. Now, back, gone. There we go, baby. That's why you got to come back, Captain. It's okay to get angry and upset, but, you know, once you come back, boom, Randy Rosarina, boom, Cal Raleigh, back-to-back homers. And what did I say earlier in the game, right? How you act and how you react after you're getting your ass kicked will carry over to the next game. Now, if we ended up losing 12-1, 15-1, 18-1, yeah, we're probably going to get fucking swept, and we might not be able to win tomorrow. But if we can get to 4 to 5 runs and we can see what players are still trying hard in the game, we're almost there. Now it's 12-3. We're clearly not going to win the game. But if we can get to 4, 5, 6 runs, that will definitely give us a better chance to be able to win tomorrow. And I like what I'm seeing right now out of 2 of the arguably best players on the roster, Randy Rosarina with his first home run, and Big Dumper continuing his success for the Seattle Mariners. You know, you have to look at the little wins in life. There we go. DX with a 5er. Uh-oh. Someone crapped in the pool. Let's go Mariners. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Poo particles everywhere. $5 holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos. See, Captain, aren't you glad you came back? If you didn't, you might have watched the game by yourself. Maybe you turned it off completely, right? But at least coming back at a good time and got to see 2 home runs. You know, things happen for a reason, man. Yeah, but Charlotte got, you know, the pub and the love is because of the legacy with Ric Flair. And if you really think about it, based off her talent on the mic and in the ring, you know, she's one of the best females of all time. Now you have others, you know, that are out there. But again, Becky Lynch, right? She can't really wrestle. Let's be honest. She can talk on the mic, but she's kind of robotic in the ring. That's just being honest. And I'm a fan of every wrestler that's out there, you know. And then you look at like Sasha Banks, you know, Mercedes Moné. You know, she can spit on the mic a little bit here and there, you know, and she was better than Becky. And she had some good matches with Bayley, you know what I mean? But again, you know, it kind of felt like something was missing with that particular character. So it's like you had the 4 horsewomen there, but not all of them are created equal. You have to realize some are better on the mic, some are better in the ring. And again, they're not going to do long-term storytelling with just anybody. You have to be someone special. And it also depends on who's writing the storyline. You know what I mean? That's big facts. I mean, Becky is a true underdog, you know, out there. And obviously she was probably, you know, the least likely one to be able to succeed. But then when she got punched in the nose by Nia Jax and started bleeding everywhere, then they ended up giving her the push, you know what I mean? But again, you know, it all depends. Everyone's going to have different opinions on who they like and who they don't like. But if you're actually looking at like wrestling ability, you know, you could argue that Becky is the worst one out of the 4, you know, based off ability. You know, now her microphone skills are pretty fucking good, you know, but again, everyone's got their favorites, you know, and, you know, you're 30, I'm 42. You've been watching wrestling for X amount of years. I've been watching since 85. Everyone's going to have their personal favorites on who they like and who they don't like, but for me, I don't really look at it and try to be biased with anyone. I just try to call it how I see it, based off, what I see. Who's a good wrestler, who can actually wrestle, who can actually do high flying moves, who is, someone that can do different styles of matches. And, some wrestlers are, not created equal compared to others, so. And I get it, they definitely push the Charlotte Flair narrative a lot, like they did with Roman. But when it's all said and done, if you're, Roman was selected based off his look, because he looks like, a guy that's, roided up and he's got the look. Roman Reigns was terrible on the mic, compared to Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose early on. And it took him to go heel to actually be a little bit of an asshole, to have that swagger, to actually turn himself decent on the microphone. But he wasn't good on the mic early on. He was fucking terrible, So again, everyone judges wrestlers, based off different criteria, but for me, anybody can fucking wrestle. Not everyone is good on the microphone. And if you want to be good, obviously, and an icon, and you want to be a legend, you have to be elite on the mic and also great, obviously, in the ring. There's a reason why Stone Cold and The Rock are above almost everybody else, is because not only could they bring it in the ring, on the microphone, they could absolutely obliterate you. And there's not many people that you could say that about, Bottom of the sixth, 12-3 Boston, and Yoshida with another double. It's never ending here. Nice job there by Yoshida. Good effort by Randy Rosarina, but he couldn't get there. Next up, third baseman Rafael Devers. Gonzalez is in. Romy, back. Gone! 14-3. Red Sox. Ridiculous. Nice job by Romy Gonzalez there. Shows you when your pitching stinks, this is what happens. Nice job by Romy. You already know when the backups come in and they go yard right away, then things are going really bad. Next up is Tyler O'Neill. Yeah, but the reason Charlotte is popular, Britt, is because she can do the high-flying moves on the top rope. She can do, everything in the ring that any other female wrestler, some have a problem with. She can end up doing, a lot of the submission work, four-figure, leg lock and all that. She could be kind of like Ric Flair, with the legacy. But you have to understand, not only can she do a lot of the in-ring work with the submissions and good groundwork in the ring, what separated Charlotte Flair out of any other female wrestler is that she can do the top rope, high-risk maneuvers that a lot of the other females can't do. There's a reason why Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton are popular. It's not just because of the way they look. It's because that they can do those high-flying moves off the top rope doing backflips, outside of the ring and in the ring. Becky Lynch can't do those moves. So there's a reason why, certain wrestlers get an extra push because they're athletically gifted. It doesn't necessarily, just because it's Ric Flair's daughter. I think she's already proven that she can already do it without the Flair name. Of course, early on, it's Ric Flair's daughter, but after a while, no one really was like, oh, it's Ric Flair's daughter. It's Charlotte Flair. She kind of created her own legacy, and that's the difference, between some of the female wrestlers. Some can do the high risk maneuvers off the, top rope, and some can't. That's the difference. Now if Becky Lynch was able to do that as well, then we have another, discussion. But again, some wrestlers can do the high risk maneuvers and others can't, Oh, Osprey's incredible. You kidding me? Kenny Omega, Osprey, I love those guys. I mean, I like Lucha Libre style. I like, athletic wrestlers, female and male. You know what I mean? Fast-paced wrestling. So, who else can do moves like Charlotte Flair, though? You know what I mean? Becky can't do it. Bianca has some athleticism. You've seen Stratton can do it. And then the first one that was able to really do moves like that was Lita. So you got ladies that were like Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson that were pretty, but they couldn't wrestle like Lita. So again, it kind of depends on the type of wrestling that you like. And everyone's going to have their fan favorites, and certain wrestlers are going to be better on the mic, but sometimes there's going to be the athleticism factor and being able to do high risk off the top rope that separates certain females and certain males from the others. I mean, that's how it's always been in wrestling, even going back to the old school days. So. Bottom of the sixth, 14-3, Red Sox. Now, maybe you need to watch, a few more matches and go back to, watching some of the old school stuff. The more matches you watch and the more history you have, then you'll have gain more of an understanding of wrestling in a whole, and everyone has a different level of how much they watch. Like for me and some of the people that I know, we've been watching since like the 80s. I've watched thousands of hours. Like I probably watch more wrestling than, most people that are around, really. There's going to be people that, that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of pay-per-views and shows. And not only that, watching like Japanese wrestling and Impact and NJPW and ROH and going back to WCW and ECW. So, the older you are, the more experience that you're going to have, and again, you're 30, and you can still have a good amount under your belt, but compared to someone that's older, it's going to be different. Based on how much time that's been watched and how many wrestlers you've been able to see over the years. Just like in anything in sports, the more that you watch, the more of an understanding that you're going to have as a whole. So, because not everyone watches the other federations. Not everyone watches as much as others, It's like when you get this younger generation, talking about thinking like LeBron is better than Jordan, you can end the conversation right there and they're a fucking idiot. It's like, you have to be able to watch everybody and then come to a conclusion. If you are only, 18 years old and you're saying LeBron's better than Jordan, you didn't even watch Jordan, and watching highlights on YouTube is not going to, prove that LeBron is better. You have to be alive to be able to watch, everyone, and then you can come up with a, solid, kind of a opinion of, the greatness. But again, if you're only X amount of years old and you didn't get to watch Larry Bird or Magic or Kobe or Jordan, and then you think the players now are better than the ones back in the day, you're going to look like an idiot, because obviously you didn't watch, and, watching stuff on YouTube doesn't tell the whole story, unfortunately, right? So sometimes you got to be able to watch a little bit more, and then you can get a little bit of a perspective and whatnot. So. I mean, everyone can watch a lot, no matter how old you are. But if you are alive, when things are going on compared to someone that wasn't. It's not going to be the same watching a replay than watching it live. Watching, wrestling and sports live is completely different than watching a replay or something that's on YouTube. 3-2 pitch. Connor Wong out there to Randy Arozarena. Stop the bleeding, please. 14-3 Boston. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Dylan Moore. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a K, first baseman Jason Vossler. Batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniger. Yeah, not sure if he's going to make any difference or not, right away. But yeah, definitely excited to see Justin Turner for sure. Yeah, I'm just saying that, for people that were alive, back like in the 80s compared to people that weren't, people that ended up watching what was going on, because you have to understand the best wrestlers and the best athletes were around in the 80s and 90s. Like if you go back and look at the top 50 players in the NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, and you go into wrestling, you're going to get more talent in the 80s and 90s than any other era. You got more legends and icons in that era than any other era, in any single sport. You got the Jordans, right? You got the Birds, you got the Magics, you got the Gretzkys, you got the Ken Griffey Juniors, you got the Tiger Woods, Andre Agassi's, the Pete Sampras's, and you're going back to the NWO and the DX. You're going with RVD and Sabu. Like, you got guys that are doing it now and girls, but it's not the same. There's a reason why things were so good in the 80s and 90s. And if you weren't alive at that time, yeah, you can go back and appreciate it, but it's not the same as actually being alive and watching it while it's happening live in front of you. Like wrestling will never be the way that it was at 95 to 99 and in the 80s and 90s, where everyone brought a fucking sign and the vibe was different. The wrestling fans that you see now, it's like shameful. It's not even close to what it was back then. And there's definitely some athletes and great, wrestlers that are out now, but the vibe is completely different than what it was in the 80s and 90s. And if you look at the talent level and the athleticism, of the people that we had in sports and wrestling in the 80s and 90s, it doesn't compare, Like, I still like some of the people that are out now, but I'm telling you, Britt, if you were alive when me and Odin were alive, and you're the same age as me and you're 42, I think your opinion would be different. You would have been able to see things differently, Not saying that you don't know what you're talking about, because clearly you know what you know based off your age and all the effort you put in on what you've watched. But it's different for OGs that are older, that have actually lived it and actually watched it when it was live, rather than, people bringing up highlights on YouTube or watching an old VHS or an old DVD. It doesn't do the game or wrestling justice on the vibe on what was going on at that time. So, like, you're never going to recreate DX. You're never going to recreate NWO. Certain things are never going to be recreated ever again. What Jordan did in his vibe, back in the 90s, like, that's never going to be recreated ever again. So, I wish, things were kind of like they were in the 80s and 90s, but, there's more icons and more record-breaking athletes, back then than there are now, But everyone is entitled to an opinion, and everyone's going to be able to have their favorites on who they like and who they don't like. Doesn't mean that, I'm right and you're wrong. Everyone's going to have their opinion. But what I do know is that if you are older and you went through it, it's a little different vibe. 0-2 pitch to Jason Vossler. That one chop foul. Yeah, back in the day was crazy. Pre-internet, man. Internet started in 95. So for me and like Odin, people that are over 40, going through the video game era and that different internet era, it's hard to even describe it unless you lived it. Like if you lived it, you understand. But if you weren't alive, you're never really fully going to understand or appreciate what we're talking about, because it won't make sense unless you were a part of it. Top of the 7th, 14-3 Red Sox. Next up, Mitch Haniger. It's like being able to see Barry Sanders, live, Jerry Rice live, when they were playing, Wayne Gretzky live. Like, you're not seeing athletes like that anymore. Like, there's players that are good, but they're not like that good. That's just facts. I mean, I'd like for someone to tell me that there's a Barry Sanders type of player playing now. I would like to know who that is, because you're never going to see another Barry Sanders again. Top of the 7th, 14-3 Boston. 1-1 count from Pivetta to Haniger, which is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, I'll have to end up watching Raw a little bit later on. Women's ladder match at Money in the Bank was better than the men's. Women's matches have come a long ways. Back in the day, if you would have told fans, men and women, that there would be women that would be main eventing big pay-per-views or having better matches than the men, they wouldn't believe you. But they've definitely come a long way from back in the 80s and 90s to the Divas era to what we're seeing right now. 3-1 pitch. That's one thing that I think that's improved compared to things that have been better in the past. The women's division is better now than what it was back in the day. That's 100% true. That might be the one thing that you're going to get now that's better than what it was back then. As far as athleticism and obviously skills on the microphone, you have more talent in women wrestling now than there was in the 80s and 90s by a lot. But that might be one of the only things that you could say that's better now than back then. And that's for someone that actually went through and lived through both, Top of the 7th, 14-3, Boston. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm a big Stone Cold guy. Ooh, nice catch. But before Stone Cold was Stone Cold, he was stunning Steve Austin. He had hair. People in WCW told him he would never make it. Sometimes you got to have the right gimmick, and you got to have the right look and the right persona and aura and vibe, and you have to get the right push at the right time. Because if Stone Cold wasn't able to, get that persona and that look, and it wasn't getting pushed, then we wouldn't be talking about Stone Cold today. But everything, was perfect. The middle finger to the boss with Vince, his ability to spit on the microphone, him to have the feud with The Rock. I mean, everything kind of blended in perfectly at the right time, at the right place. 1-0 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Stone Cold tried to run over Rikishi. One of my favorite figures out of my figure collection that I own is I actually have a Japanese Stone Cold Steve Austin that's got like 4 different heads, 2 or 3 different sets of hands, a belt, and it comes with beer cans that you can put in his hands, the ones that fit it, and then he can be like, and then it has like beer spilling out of the can to make him look like he's chugging the beer. There's not very many figures that that I would pay $50 to $100 for, but definitely that was one of them, and it's probably my favorite wrestling figure that I own in the box. I'm a big Stone Cold guy. 3-1 pitch. Pitch is inside, and Rojas is walked. Heroes hideout may be closing. No, that's not good. Looks like Pivetta is going to come out with 109 pitches. I mean, he definitely did not need to pitch this long, but when you're you got 14 runs on 16 hits and an error, right? What do? He definitely had a good day. And, normally Mariner fans, are not going to be able to salute a great outing like that. But, I'm not built like most Mariner fans. Nice job by Nick Pivetta. Nice job. I see you, Nick. Coming into the game, 4-7 record with a 4.50 ERA. Had a magnificent game. Pivetta, 6.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks, 109 pitches. Great job by Nick Pivetta. Hopefully we don't have too many more games like this where we get our ass kicked by 11 runs and the game is over within the first 4 innings. But next up is Victor Robles, 0 for 3 with a K, which is very unusual. Hopefully he'll end up getting a hit to go at least 1 for 4. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. We're all going to need therapy as Mariner fans after this one, down 11 runs. But again, if we can get 4 or 5 runs, that'll give us a better chance to win in the next 2 days. We need 3 more likes to get to 50. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 2 more likes to 50. We're at 48, and we've gained a couple subs in this shellacking that we've been able to get here by the Boston Red Sox. That's a sad, sad thing. And we're 62 away from the goal. But I like the effort that we're getting out of Rosarina and Cal Raleigh to at least get it to 14-3 rather than 14-1. Still an ass whooping, but the closer we can get to 4 or 5 runs, the better. Yeah. I understand, bro. Let me look at what I'm doing. I've been grinding for fucking 12 years. I've put out more than 4 million views. Over 2,200 plus live streams and videos, and I put my blood, sweat, and tears into everything that I do. Sometimes you end up getting the recognition, sometimes you don't. And again, like I said, you have to grind. You're not always going to get the recognition. You're not always going to get the likes. You're not always going to get the views, and you have to be able to do it because you love it, not because you want to try to, gain followers and you want to get the recognition. Some people do things to get fame and to get money, and get the recognition. But if you already love doing what you're doing, that, then eventually things will end up working out. But if you're only doing it to get likes and views, it's never going to work. Because eventually you'll get burnt out and then you won't like doing it. So again, if you already like what you're doing, eventually the results will come. And we're not in football season right now. Now, obviously you got the college football game that came out. So you're going to get some people that will be interested in some of those things. But you have to realize just because one post did really, really good with Georgia Tech doesn't mean that UCF and West Virginia, fans are going to be on Twitter/X looking for your content. You have to realize, it takes time. And you have to get a little lucky, too, on the timing and the day. If you put out the post in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, there's a lot of factors that are involved on to gain traction, on things like that. So, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons and you put in that hard work and that effort, eventually, if you have talent, the results will come, But again, you can't get caught up thinking that every single post is going to blow up like that one, what the Georgia Tech one did, And again, these are small schools. They're not, this is not Alabama or Georgia, And again, if you end up doing more of these when it's college football season, you're probably going to get more likes and more views, It's like if we're doing a baseball stream and someone's coming in here and talking basketball, they're probably not going to get a whole lot of traction. You have to be able to know your audience and you have to know the timing, of the season. So when you do more of these posts when college football starts, you're going to get more results, and you're not going to always going to get big results on every single college football school. And even if it's a popular school, right, where you do like Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Texas. Some might blow up and some might not, it's just, that's how it goes, Just got to be able to be consistent and to put on the grind, you know. I mean, imagine, me, making a thumbnail and doing all this prep, and then doing a show, and then, barely getting views or not getting donos or subs or shares. Again, you have to go through the pain and the agony and the sacrifice, before you can actually redeem the rewards, And obviously you have talent with the play calling and the breakdowns, but again, you just started. You can't expect to blow up when you just started, like you've only done 3. So again, I've been doing this for fucking 12 years, so, I put in thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. But one thing we do have in common is that you do put your blood, sweat, and tears into what you do. But again, just because you're not getting mass recognition doesn't mean that your shit isn't good. Your shit is good. There's not a lot of people that are doing what you're doing. You just have to keep the faith and not let what the subs and the followers and the likes and the clicks and the views dictate what you do tomorrow. And you got to realize not every person is going to love college football as much as me and you. Some people are going to love the Ducks, but they could give 2 shits about Georgia Tech, UCF, and West Virginia. That's just being true, right? It's going to take a special fanatic that loves college football and play calling like you and me to be able to find those people. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to, get results just out of any football fan. They might be a hardcore football fan, but the stuff that you put out there might go over their head. It's too complex for them, unless they play Madden or college football, or they played Pop Warner, high school ball, or college ball. There has to be a certain audience that you're trying to put your material out to. You see what I'm saying? Like coaches, fanatics will appreciate that stuff. Players, former players will appreciate that. But the average person, they're not going to care because it's too complex for them and they don't understand, or they just don't give a shit. So, realize that, they'll get down, just because some of them, are not, you got to grind for a long, long time to be able to make a name for yourself. Success doesn't come just overnight. Bottom of the 7th, 14-3 Red Sox. And that's me giving you just true, what it is what it is, Sometimes, you have to understand the formula. And once you figure out what formula works, then you just got to continue doing it and realizing that not everyone is going to, appreciate what you're putting out, even though you're putting in your blood, sweat, and tears. Not a lot of people give a shit about Liberty, UCF, West Virginia. And you got lucky with the Georgia Tech, where it came out at the right time, at the right place. You got the right likes and the right traction, and you just got to be able to keep doing it. And then some will blow up and some won't, Consistency is key, my guy. But you got to do it for the right reasons, because you love it, not because you're trying to get fame and money and notoriety and recognition. And if you do things for the right reason, eventually things will work out. That one popped up, fouled out. Rafaela fouled out to first. 2 away. Paisley's in the building. Three more likes to 50. Let's go. Yeah, but also, too, you have to understand, Matt, we're not in college football season. Why is someone going to go through the time and look through all of those things, right? If it's not college football season, like who's actually thinking about college football besides the people that are playing video games on NCAA 25? You know what I mean? So you also have to look at the timing on when you're putting these things out. And obviously putting them out during college football season, you'll get more traction than rather putting it out during baseball season. It just so happens that you got good traction with the Georgia Tech one. But again, you're not going to be able to get traction like that on every single one. So as long as you know that, it's going to be kind of an experiment, You got to pay attention to all the little details when you're doing social media things. Statistics, analytics, metrics, timing. All that matters. Bottom of the 7th, 14-3, Red Sox. 2-1 pitch to Jamie Westbrook. Pitch is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not everyone is built the same way. Like a lot of people see what I do here on the stream, but they don't see the hours and hours and hours of me reading, hours and hours and hours of watching film. It's all about what you do behind the scenes is what, creates that work ethic and that grind. That one chop foul, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from Snyder to Westbrook. Got him. There we go. End of the 7th, 14-3, Boston. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder Victor Robles. 0 for 4 with a K, hopefully 1 for 5. And Randy Arozarena is taking the night off here. They're going to try to substitute some other players to get them ready, obviously, for Game 2 and Game 3. And we're going to bring in Cade Marlowe. I got a Cade Marlowe photo here. And batting third, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Man, this game is going long. 2 hours and 36 minutes, 14-3, Boston. Let's go Mariners, baby. Got to stay positive. If we can get 1 or 2 more runs, it'll definitely help our cause. But now, since we're getting into the last, 2 innings, there's a high probability we don't get any more. But there's always a chance if we can scrape out 1 or 2 more. Like I think 14-4, if we can prevent them from scoring any more, and we can get to 4, I think that will really help us going into tomorrow. And even the effort that we got out of Arozarena and Cal Raleigh with back-to-back homers, that's definitely much better than looking at a score of 14-1. 14-3 makes me sick to my stomach. A 14-1 is even worse. Obviously a worst case scenario, 14-0, but Cade Marlowe in the box. Pinch hitting for Randy Arozarena. Pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cade Marlowe. Paisley Pup is in here, missing Dad. Two balls and 2 strikes to Cade. Marlowe crushes that one foul. Count remains 2-2. But really, the main thing is just consistency, and if you can have that consistency, eventually, people will recognize. But success does not happen overnight. It takes a long, long time. Cade Marlowe, see you later. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, me and Captain love this player, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. See if Cal can hit another home run here. Obviously, nobody's expecting, anything from the Mariners at this point. 1 for 3 with a solo home run in the 6th. Hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 more runs before the game ends. I mean, obviously the game could easily end 14-3, but hopefully we can find a way to scrape out 1 more run before the game ends, and I think that would be a success. Plus 14-4 looks better than 14-3. And we won't lose like this in Game 2 and Game 3. At least I hope not. Big swing and a miss for Big Dumper behind the count. 1-2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes to Big Dumper. Top of the 8th, 14-3 Red Sox. And I'm happy that we don't have to go through these ass whoopings that often. They're going to happen a few times throughout the season, but Boston definitely deserved every part of this 11-run lead that they have. We needed Logan to go a solid 6 or 7 innings, and he just didn't have his stuff here today. Good luck on the job opportunity, Captain. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is low into the dirt. At the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Try to get to 50 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We're close. We should be able to get there before the game ends. Cal, there we go. Nice job. We're 2 likes away from 50. 1 more like away from 50. I think we would have been able to hit 70 to 80 if the game was actually close. We were off to a very good start with the likes, but obviously when we started to get our ass kicked, a lot of people left, and I don't blame them, unless you want to support me. So, but they'll be back tomorrow. Nice job by Big Dumper. Great effort by our guy, the MVP for the Mariners, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now Leo Rivas getting a chance. Little dribbler. There we go. Leo Rivas with a little cheap hit there. Nice job, Leo. Kind of a bunt slash, a little weak infield hit. Nice job, Leo. I don't think anyone anticipated that. The second baseman and the pitcher and the shortstop were all looking at each other. Now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. Nice job, Leo. Next up for the Mariners, Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. This would be an awesome time to go for a 3-run blast or to get an RBI for Luke Raley. Even though the game is officially over, but we want to be able to see our players, play with some effort. Pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. At least we have an opportunity here in the 8th to get something. Is that if I get it, it means more donos. That would be good. Especially when I do this full time, it's like I don't got anything else, coming in. So it's like I got to take care of my pup. I got to be able to pay the bills. Any type of support that I can get definitely goes a long, long way. Especially when it took me 10 years to go full time and I'm in my 12th year. So this is my 3rd year full time. And I definitely have sacrificed a lot of extra money, to do this full time. But if I'm going to be able to spend more time with my pup and being able to spend time with you guys, then, it ends up being worth it as long as I can still take care of my pup and pay my bills. So. Money isn't everything, but you do need it to, survive to a certain degree. All right, we got bases loaded for Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. And with 1 swing, it could be 14-7. And I know for some people, they don't give a shit. But again, for us Mariner fans, that would be huge, going into tomorrow and Wednesday, considering we were down, like 14-1. So even Paisley, you can't even look. We're 1 like away from 50. Boom, we hit it, baby. There we go. Shout out to all the people that have smashed the like button in this ass whooping that we've gotten. The Red Sox have been fantastic. Still got a little ways to go on the dono. 62 to go there. So let's see if Demo can end up doing something crazy here for us. Bases loaded with 1 out. Dylan Moore in the box. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We gained a couple subs here tonight as well. $43 to go to 20,400. Demo, off the wall, baby. Look at that. Rayleigh gets in at third. And what did I say, Captain? I said if we get to 4 to 5 runs, it shows who actually is trying and who has effort. And look at that. The sports gods listened to what I had to say. Boom. There it is. We could have just fucking felt sorry for ourselves, fucking cried about it, left the room, turned the game off, right? But we kept battling, and now it's 14-5. It's a bad loss, but it could have been much worse. Nice job. Go Mariners. Sometimes you just got to be able to say it out loud. The sports gods hear it, and then you get your results. Here we go. Next up is Jason Vossler. Every at-bat matters, even when you're getting your ass kicked. It can carry over to the next game. Let's go. All right, Odin. Take it easy, brother. There we go. Wild pitch. Boom. 14-6. And just imagine if we didn't get ourselves in such a deep hole. Like, let's say the Red Sox have 8 right now. Shit, we could come back and tie them. Maybe make it to extra innings, if it was 8-6 at this point. So, for some people, they're not going to care. But again, I look at every little detail. I'm always paying attention on every minute detail on what's going on. Wild pitch, Luke Rayleigh, good head on a swivel. And, if you would have asked anybody that was watching this game early that we would have gotten to 6 runs, they would have said that we were crazy. But sometimes you just know your team. 1-2 pitch to Vossler. Little throw to first. 2 away, and we get another run. 14-7. Let's go. Good shit, man. Next up for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. It's like when I tell people, when you're a fan during like NFL season or college football season, it's really easy to rock the jersey at work or in front of your friends, after you have a big Monday night win, right? Or a big game on Sunday or Thursday night, right? But what happens when you get your ass kicked? Can you still rock the gear? And that's what really separates the sports fanatics besides the other fans that are out there, right? Can you rock the gear even after a bad loss? And if you can, that separates you from a lot of the others that are out there, because there's a lot of fans, when you lose, they are embarrassed and they don't wear the gear, and they have to wait for a big win. Anyone can rock the fucking gear after a big win, but it really takes a different special type of fan to rock the gear after a bad loss. Facts. It really separates, not the fair weather from the hardcore, but, there's a different level of fandom in sports. And that's what I really gauge it on. Can you rock the gear after a bad loss? And a lot of people can't. But the people that can, those are our type of people. Top of the 8th, 14-7, Red Sox. 2-2 pitch, low in the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dude, like I said, we were down 14-1. And again, I just wanted us to get to like 4 or 5 runs, and we even exceeded that. So, and if we end up winning games 2 and 3, what are they going to point that at? At maybe what effort we put in after we were down 14-1. You have to realize that what you do today will carry over into tomorrow. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th, 14-7, Boston. Pretty good considering everything that happened to us, up to that point. Next up for the Red Sox, 2 for 4 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and 2 Ks, Wilyer Abreu. Batting second, 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 4 RBIs, DHing for Boston. Had a monster game today, Masataka Yoshida. And then they got Romy Gonzalez coming in, 1 for 1 with a 2-run blast. And next. Romy Gonzalez. Bottom of the 8th, 14-7, Red Sox. I know you do. You know, and that's why you're definitely a lot more hardcore. There's a lot of hardcore Seahawk fans, you know, regardless if you live in America or if you live overseas, right? But your fandom, you know, is right up there at the very top, you know, compared to any fan, regardless of where you live, you know. And plus, you know, if we're being honest, your fandom is even higher than most Americans, you know. It's all about having that love and appreciation no matter what, you know. But not every fan is built like you or built like a lot of the sport fanatics. So, and there's always going to be different levels. You know, there's bandwagon, there's fair weather, there's occasional watchers, there's fans, you know, and there's hardcore, and then there's diehard, and then there's fanatics. You know, there's like 7 different levels of fandom. So. And wearing your jersey after a tough loss is one of the hardest things to do. You know, it's not like you're afraid to get made fun of or anything like that. It has nothing to do with it. It's just the pain of the loss and how bad it was when you care so much about the coaches and the player and the team. You know, it's just one of those hard things to do after you had such a negative experience, and then you still want to be able to show your pride. You know, that really shows me what type of person you really are. So. Bottom of the 8th, 14-7, Red Sox. Now we got Taylor Saucedo into the game. And we've already exceeded the expectations after being down 14-1. And like I mentioned, if we got to 4 to 5 runs, I thought we would have a good chance to be able to win games 2 or game 3. You know, we still might get swept. We might only win 1 game. But I like the effort that we're putting here with no JP, no Julio. We could have just said fuck it and gave up. You know, but again, for the players that didn't give up, you know, the hardcore fans and the fanatics, we don't forget and we don't, you know, take it for granted. We notice everything. 2-1 pitch for Romy Gonzalez. Pitch is inside, 3-1 count. And that is a walk. Taylor Saucedo with a walk. Who would have thought? Yeah, Kraken hoodie is fire. We're going to be better this upcoming season too. And hopefully we can gain more of a fan base. You know, the team will be better, and hopefully we'll have more people hop onto the streams and show some support. And you know, hopefully we can build something special on the channel with the Kraken like we have here with the Mariners. Go to first. Got him. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th. Last ditch effort. All we got to do is get 7 runs. I don't know if we're going to get any more after all that effort that we already put out, but you never know. Let's see who is up here. Last-ditch effort for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Batting second, 0 for 4 with a K, Victor Robles. And batting third normally would have been Randy Arozarena, but we're giving him a little bit of a rest. So we're going to go into Cade Marlowe. I don't think we're going to get probably any more at this point, but hopefully it'll be better than this, obviously tomorrow. Games like this are very tough to watch. Oh, my Paisley pup. Love you. She loves dad. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's finish strong here. We got to the 50 likes. See if we can get to 55 before the game ends. We're at 52. We need 3 more likes to hit the final goal of the night. So hopefully we can get there. Now we're at 53. I don't know if we have enough to get to 60 at this point, but GG to the Red Sox. Again, we're never going to shit on the other team. We're going to make sure that we're giving plenty of kudos to all the, greatness that's on the stream. Some games are going to be easier to watch than others, and we definitely got our ass kicked in this game, but we didn't give up, though. Rojas with a single right up the middle. Nice job, Hollywood. Good effort there by Hollywood Josh Rojas. And they're going to give Tyler Locklear an opportunity to get an at-bat. Next up, Tyler Locklear. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Tyler. Finish strong here. Yeah, we just want to make sure that we have, just people that are going to be loyal and they're going to grind it out. And we want to make sure we're building, a nice community. And it's not all about the numbers. It's about the people. I'll sacrifice thousands of subs, if it's not the right type of person for this channel. They can go anywhere else. If they want to be a troll or if they want to be a hater, there's plenty of, channels that don't care. They just want the sub and the number, regardless of what comments come out of their mouth onto the keyboard. But, I want to make sure that we have a good quality type of room. And, because the people in the room really do matter. Big facts. One away. There goes Locklear. Next up is Cade Marlowe. Let's go, Cade. Top of the ninth, 14-7, Red Sox. But we'll be doing, obviously, a lot of baseball, a lot of NFL, a lot of college football, plenty of WWE, and then when we get into hockey season, we'll do a lot of NHL, and I will always choose the NHL over the NBA. The NBA to me is almost unwatchable. Like, sometimes, you'll get certain matchups that'll be decent, that might be worth streaming. March Madness is always fun, but I feel like basketball has definitely gone downhill. I mean, I would rather do NASCAR and NHL than do the NBA. So, there'll be plenty of other places that people can watch NBA streams if they want to go. But, I mean, I don't want to fake like I'm enjoying something when I'm not. And again, I enjoy everything that I stream. So if you don't see me doing NBA, there's a reason. It's just not a really good product. College basketball during the regular season, not so much fun. NBA in the regular season and postseason, it's all right. Big dumper popped up, and that should be it. And there it is. Final score, Boston Red Sox 14, Seattle Mariners 7. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much, especially the people that stuck it out in this tough circumstance. Shout out to Captain DX, Megan. I mean, you guys are always going to be in here, and you guys are always supporting. Same thing, Matt, grinding it out, and hopefully your posts get a little bit more traction. Matt, don't get discouraged if you're not getting what you want. Just make sure you keep consistent with it, and I will continue to like and read and appreciate what you're putting out, and that's really what matters. So hopefully the games will be a little bit better, obviously, here moving forward. And obviously, a 14-7 ass whooping is bad, but 14-1 is even worse. So shout out to all the people that like, sub, donated, commented, shared. I love you guys with all my heart. I appreciate you. And again, I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 o'clock Pacific for the Red Sox and the Mariners. And I got one question for you. Who talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.